All right, welcome back, everybody. We're playing another episode of Trails of Cold Steel 2 tonight. We left off just as we had finished with all of the activities, well, most of the activities in Ymir. I think we're just at the end of Chapter 1 in the game, so let's go ahead and find out. But, you know, one of the first things I want to do is cooking. We need to do some cooking. And we have so many people, they don't fit on... We have to paginate. They don't fit on one page. Okay, so we're looking for the fishing lady who has gone inexplicably missing. But like I said, first we do some cooking. Hey, Brent. How's it going tonight? Such a big group, I know, right? So many people. I do too. Alright, everyone should go check out Brent. Brent, what were you playing tonight? Supreme Latte. I'm gonna have so many of these Supreme Lattes, I won't even know what to do with myself. You took the fishing NPC to keep me from doing the fishing mini games? Ah, I'm crushed. Absolutely crushed. Okay, we need a different team. Like, we need an entirely different team if we're going to do some cooking. Let's see. How do I just remove you? I guess I'll just do this. Alien Cube. A narrative horror cult thing. A narrative horror cult thing featuring aliens, I'm assuming? Sounds interesting. Tough jelly. Defense and arts defense plus 25%. I mean, all things considered, it's not that bad. More Supreme Lattes. There we go. Finally, the thick vanilla milkshake was a Millium special. Regen 20% HP for 3 turns and cures burn. That's really good. Outstanding. We finally got it. All right. Now we just need this one. Suspicious Pilaf. Strength plus 50% for 1 round. What? 1 round? Just 1, huh? Iron pancakes. I've had those before. Alien is in the sense that it's ancient gods from the outer dimension. Oh, I see. Alien, like, not native to Earth. From the outer reaches, you could say. All right. Let's get our actual party. There we go. That's a pretty good looking party, right? So we got Claire, we got Fee, we got Sharon, we got Emma, we've got Sarah. I think this is a pretty killer party we got here. Shield Coat, Shield Spikes, Diablo and Pain 2, the sequel. We're gonna give her the passion leggings. I feel like this fits her. Fits her personality. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just gonna have to unequip them all anyway when I make my actual group later. Alright, speaking of fishing minigames, I could probably fish here. I could figure out where the fishing spot is. There we go. Which game has the best fishing minigame, chat? I think the one, I don't know, for some reason the one that really stands out to me was I think the one from Breath of Fire 3. That was the first time I remember being really excited about fishing in a JRPG. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it was like this vertical, maybe isometric kind of style where you'd like throw your rod out and all the big fish were at the very end and you had to kind of navigate the fish towards you to catch it. This was, of course, many years ago. I'm very excited for the Suikoden 1 and 2 releases. The remasters that are being released on Steam later. I can't wait for that. I was just talking about how much I like that series, and then I just happened to run across, oh, they're releasing them. They're being remastered. And on top of that, Star Ocean. A new Star Ocean was released today on Steam. So, congrats everybody. All you Star Ocean fans. The reviews seem pretty positive. Good. Glad to hear that. Who do we want to flash? You want to flash these guys? Oh, they only take 50% damage from frost? Buddy. Whoa! Oh, I've got 2 overdrive symbols now. I forgot about that. Detector beta can now be used. Just gonna detect all the betas in chat. Analysis balance down. Defense and arts defense minus 50% for 3 turns. What? That is really good. Game is muted? Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for saying something. I thought I had fixed that. Alright.
Is this a surprise?
Alright, there we go. You just realized that the game is muted. Okay. Well, there you go. Hey, Shadow, I'm doing alright. How are you?
Done.
Sweep 2 can now be used. Impede speed minus 50%. Wow, that's really good. That's really good. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I thought. I took away Falco and gave it to Sharon. It's not bad. Work was a bit busy. Ah, I see.
Here's our chance. Don't mess it up.
That is a lot of bad guys.
My turn.
All right, let's get this done. Let's see. Gale?
Second form. Gale! Now's our chance. Let's go, everyone!
All right, yeah, you got it.
This is our real power.
Nice. Well, I hope work it gets better, Shadow.
Here's our chance. Don't mess it up. My turn.
That's a nice 50% heal for fee. All right, so let's see. Sweep 2.
Eliminating targets.
Dude.
Targets eliminated. Let's get going.
Yeah, okay, she took care of business, that's for sure. All right. We got 1 U material. We need 1 more. So I can upgrade to a Passionate Rouge, I think is what it is. All right, I'm assuming the thing that I need is way up at the top of the valley.
We'll have to fight our way through. Leave it to me. Now! You're open.
Let's move.
It's the start of the busy season for you. Got it.
Now!
I'll back you up.
You're finished!
Ooh, that was good.
It's my turn. My turn.
My turn.
1, 2. And done.
She missed him.
Too slow.
Oh, wow.
Targets eliminated.
All right.
Let's get going.
So she's just going to finish that guy off in 1 hit. Perfect.
Advantage is ours. Let's finish him.
All right, let's see.
My turn.
How do we want Fee to destroy them?
Beginning mission. Leave it to me.
I really like that.
Let's move.
DSW78, thank you very much for the 34-month resub. Welcome back. I hope you're doing very well.
Second form. Gale! Now's our chance.
I'll back you up.
Thank you for that
You're
long-term
finished.
support.
Way to show us how it's done.
You're too kind.
I'm glad you're enjoying the anime. I'm enjoying playing it. Wait, why is he running away?
We have the advantage here.
Come back here, you're mine.
My turn. Here goes. Overdrive.
It's time. Yes. I don't know, man. I just like picking on these little cats. Hey!
Of course. Here's our chance.
Got you. Way to show us how it's done.
You're too kind.
Hey, grass giants.
have to fight our way through.
So I guess that other guy was just
Let's move.
afraid of us. That's interesting.
Second form. Damn! Now!
I'll back you up. Here I go.
All right, Emma. Do your worst.
Focus activate. Okay.
Ooh.
And one from me. Leave it to me.
Get him.
Cut!
You missed. Unbelievable. What? All right.
Let's keep going.
Nice damage, Emma. All right. So I'm assuming he's just moved up here on this other bridge
Here's our chance.
because
Don't
the
mess
fishing
it
is
up.
better or something.
Here I go. Second form. Damn!
Okay. My turn. Okay, we're burning daylight.
Hello, Thebus. Been playing some Tokyo Xanadu. How's that going for you? Are you enjoying it? That's the main question.
My turn.
Oh my, already tired? Oh yes, you certainly are. Any fish would be after fighting all night long. Wait, she was fighting this fish all night long? Got you. Come on, come on, come on! Drat, it took my bait and swam off. Again? Why? Why fish? Is her fishy stomach a bottomless pit of hunger? How did I know this was how we'd find her? I can't believe she's been fishing all night. Then again, I totally can. Excuse me, Annabelle, I think it would be best to return to Ymir and get some sleep. Considering how tired you clearly are, if you were to fall into the water, I dread to think what might happen. Oh, hogwash. I'm so close to finally catching it, I can already taste its deliciously filleted body. I refuse to go back empty-handed. That's simply unthinkable. Certainly, passionate, isn't she? I'd be worried for her if she kept at this pace, though. She's so focused on fishing, she's not seeing things clearly. Is there nothing we can do? Oh, I know. What if I caught the fish that you're after in your place? Would that work for you? Oh, a fishing battle is what you want, is it? I'd be happy to accept. Let's see who can catch the little devil first, shall we? That's not what sure. Game on. I hope I can actually catch it. Sounds like it's a big one. Her hair still looks like a hood for you. I can see that. I can see that. Alright, Reen, time to catch the big one, alright? Are you ready? I don't know what the hell that is, but that's not a fish. That is not a fish. I don't know what is that?
Not what I had in mind.
Sasquatch? Hot mystery fish. It's huge! Did you catch it? Did you? Did you catch the mighty blue devil? I don't know, but whatever it is, it's gigantic. Come on! He did it. Holy hell, what is that thing? You caught it! You really caught it! This is the elusive blue devil! This is not the time for rejoicing. Stay back! It's a monster! What?
Here they come. Stay focused.
Okay.
My turn.
I was a little surprised by that.
All right, let's do this.
You got of course.
Not what I expected, honestly.
Let's see if we can live through this. Of course.
Get wrecked.
Overdrive.
It's time. Alright, let's see what we have here. What are we weak against, buddy? Fire? Oh, we've got fire. We have fire for days.
Now!
Here I go. Ha! Now's our chance. Let's go, everyone!
All right, right. You got it. Of course.
How does Ring even catch such a thing? Very carefully. It's all about leverage. It's all about leverage.
Okay.
This guy is absolutely going to get destroyed.
Eliminating targets. Got it. And one for me.
My turn. Sit. Gather on my blade.
Why did the fireball frostbite him? Excellent question.
That's that. Let's keep moving.
Do you remember that spell from World of Warcraft, Frost Firebolt? That's how. It's a bolt of frost fire. Anyway, it wasn't easy, but I managed to bring her back. Sounds like things got pretty hairy out there. Allow me to apologize for exposing all of you to danger like that. I thought I could handle myself in dangerous places, but my overconfidence may have been my undoing this time. I feel as though I've learned anew just how dangerous it can be to leave the shelter of a town. Well, as long as you understand that, I suppose that's all that matters. Yep, no one got hurt. She gets what she did wrong. You've really helped me out here by finding her. Here, take this as a little something from me. Effort. I don't know, should I feel good? I'm being rewarded for my effort? Are you sure I can just have this? Classic Reem. Are you sure I can have this? What? You're giving me something? Are you sure I can just have this? Sure as can be. It's nothing but that special anyway. In that case, I feel as though I should give you some kind of reward as well. I wouldn't be much of a noble if I didn't repay someone for their kindness. Prankster. Received Prankster. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel about this. Thanks. Thank you again for saving my life. I may have been careless this time, but next time, I'll be sure to be fully prepared for the possibility of being attacked by the fish I catch. Good? Good, for you. She didn't learn a damn thing, did she? Oh boy. Looks like it'll take more than a brush with death to get her to give up her dangerous fishing excursions. Stranger than fishing completed. Alright, let's see what these things do. Prankster. Gives a 70% chance to make a peculiar dish when cooking. What? Alright, so you can turn anybody into a bad chef with this. And effort. Gives a 70% chance to make a superb dish when cooking. Nice. That is actually really funny. Not bad. Alright, let's go to Plover and buy some things. At on keyboard. I've been there, man. I've been there. Let's see what kind of quartz they have for sale. Also, I still need one more U material, I think. I'm a little sad that we didn't get all the U material that we need. Yeah, we have 19. I need 20. I'm tempted to go out there and just farm for one more. I just need one more so I can buy my Passionate Rouge and hit the ground running in Chapter 2 or whatever it is. Cthulhu cultists. Man. That's, I feel like it's a little obvious for Cthulhu cultists. Wouldn't they be a little bit more subtle about that sort of thing? You'd think so, right? Alright, let's see. Slots for Elisa. Where's Fee? And Emma. And Laura. Eustace already has level 1 everything. Might as well cover Gaius and Millium just in case I have to use them at some point, which I'm sure I will. Alright, now everybody has rank 1 slots in everything, right? At least rank 1 slots. Good. I'm gonna hang on to the rest of the Sepith, just in case I find a real nice quartz I want to use on a specific person. Okay, Cannon, Tauros, Iron. Let's go ahead and remove all of his quartzes. Let's get rid of all that. Give me all of his. All of yours, thank you. What does she have? She has Thor. That's right. Recover HP and EP through attacks and crafts. So she has like a drain almost. Okay, Laura, Emma, Lisa, and Reen all have things equipped. So I'm just going to grab a few fights. Hopefully the U material is going to drop instantaneously. We'll see. I just need one more.
No problem.
Onward! Now's our chance. Let's get him! Here I go.
Triple advantage. All right. Get him.
I can do this.
Heavenly Gift. Mirage Arrow. Here we go.
Pierce them! Mirage arrow!
Whoa! Lady!
My turn.
Please, have mercy.
Of course!
Alright, that's a bit fancier than the one she had in the previous series. Let's see. Serene Blessing. Let's do Aster Flare.
Dance flames! Aster flare!
Oh, it's so good.
We should be safe now.
Even if we don't get U material, we're gonna have so many cooking ingredients. You don't even know.
We got this!
My turn. There! Ha!
Ooh.
Now's our chance.
Gotcha! No problem.
Now is our chance.
This is it for you.
We did it, Elisa.
We really do make a great team.
Elisa's still almost leaving people hanging with high fives. I see that she, old habits die hard, I guess. Oh my god, come back.
The advantage is ours.
Stop running away from me. I just want to
Let's move.
farm you for your materials, okay? That's it.
No problem.
Onward! Hi! You still have a lot of training to do.
I'm so glad.
We have a quartz that increases the odds of something dropping, don't we? Thought we had something like that. So we have Septium Vein that increases Sepith drop by enemies. Is it luck? Do we have luck? Let's see. I feel like if I did, it would be one of these down here. So let's see. It analyzes enemies. Arts and crafts can confuse. I feel like that's really good. I'm gonna put that on somebody. I don't think we have the quartz. It's gold. I don't think we have it. I don't see it equipped on anybody, and I'm pretty sure we don't have one in our inventory. Yeah, golden sphere, dark matter, hit, shining R, detection. Elisa has it? Oh, you're right. She does. Drop rate plus 30% for the equipped character only. Alright, we need to put that on somebody that actually kills stuff. I guess she kills things periodically, but really it needs to be on Reen. Let's see. Yeah. Fuck. Good eye. I didn't see that.
We have the advantage here.
Let's move. Second form. Damn!
I can do
This
this.
Arts Quartz. Yeah, I saw that.
Here I go. Overdrive.
Overdrive.
Now.
Got you.
Not bad.
My turn.
Alright, Reen, don't miss them this time.
Now!
Gotcha. I can do this. Of course. How about this?
My turn. Sia!
Oh no, does it actually have like
Here I go.
really high evasion?
Sit!
There we go.
Okay, it's safe for now.
They just wanted Reen to be able to get the final blow. I killed it. What? Wait a second. You can do that? I just straight up killed the thing. Laura. Please. Do they actually drop things?
We have the advantage here.
If you do that?
Here I go.
That would be pretty sweet. Wouldn't mind that.
Second form. Damn! Now! Let's go, everyone!
Leave it to me. How about this?
This is our real power.
If you're high enough level, you can just outright kill things. That's actually really cool. That's a that's something that I missed from Earthbound. Earthbound was great for its time because it was the first time I saw a game where the monsters would actually avoid you. If you were too high level for them, they would run away from you.
The advantage is ours.
And if you actually engaged them in combat, you would instantly win.
Second form. Damn! Now!
Gotcha! Right. Pierce them! Mirage arrow!
That is really good.
Leave this to me.
That seems really good.
You still have a lot of training to
Things
do.
that you over level, you can just instantly kill. That's really cool. I noticed on the Steam store that there is a DLC you can buy for this game that just gives you experience points. Alright, so it doesn't look like doing that actually causes them to drop anything. Looks like they just give you some sepith and that's
We have
it.
the advantage here!
So you can buy like a experience point
Let's
package, basically.
Second form. Damn! Now's our chance.
Gotcha! No problem.
Which is funny because I feel like a lot of JRPGs I played
Now's our chance!
back when, you know, I was first getting into it,
Here I go!
grinding was just a part of the game, right? That's just what you did. You spend some time leveling
Leave
up.
this to me.
So now you can just bypass that
We
by
should keep
swiping your
going.
credit card. Alright, let's go ahead and head back. It's probably enough. Didn't get the U material, but I don't want to spend all night farming monsters. Speaking of that, maybe if I spend $5, I can get a package of 20 U material. Demon Prince Reen? Yeah, I saw that. I saw the, there's casual clothes for all of the characters, all the main characters. And Demon Prince Reen and Magical Girl Elisa.
Now's our chance. Let's get him.
Which is great. Magical Girl
Here we
Elisa
go.
is super funny. Just cracks me up.
I can do this!
I can't believe that's actually a thing.
Here I go!
Overdrive!
Pierce them! Mirage arrow! Now's our chance!
Got you. Let's move.
Now's our chance.
Second form. Damn!
It's in Xanadu? That's great.
We did it, Elisa.
We did it,
We really
Lisa.
do make a great team.
Give me my U material. Yeah, I feel like it's a lot rarer than I was giving it credit for. I'm still gonna fight everything on the way back, but we'll cap it. We'll cap it at this. Wait, am I going back? Ymir Valley Inn. No, I got turned around. Never mind. Did I check to see if I have DLC? Yeah, I did. I don't think I do. When I
We
first
have the
downloaded the game, I
advantage here.
checked.
Let's move. Sit. Now's our chance.
Gotcha! I can do this!
Gotcha.
Pierce them! Mirage arrow!
Leave this to me.
Radiant Blade. I don't think we've used this yet.
Blade of light. Go!
What?
You still have a lot
What
of
the
training
hell?
to do.
She's actually just Agrius Oaks? That's Laura? Right. Ymir, okay.
Now's our chance. Let's get him.
Get him, Reen.
Here I go.
Counting on you, buddy.
Second form. Gale! Now's our chance.
Gotcha! No problem.
Man, nice instant kill on that other guy.
Pierce them! Mirage arrow!
Leave this to me. Hi!
It's my turn. Of course. How about this?
My turn.
Oh, Emma.
That's that. Let's keep moving.
It's nice that you try.
We
So
have the advantage
if they
here.
run away from you, that means that you overlevel them enough
Let's
to
move.
intimidate them.
Huh.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
You're not getting away. Molten Wave!
Leave this to me. Ha!
Ooh.
Of course.
Wait,
Huh?
I don't remember
My
giving
turn.
her death blow.
Sit. That's that. Let's keep moving.
U material.
Success.
We got it. We got the U material. We got 2 of them. My job here is done.
The advantage
We
is
got our
ours.
items. Let's get out of here.
Let's move. Here goes. Overdrive.
We'll just overdrive just to flex on these fools. Gale.
Second form. Gale. Now. Let's go, everyone.
Yes. Get
Okay.
them.
Leave this to me.
This is our real power.
Oh, that's good. I'm excited. All right. Fantastic. We got all of our U material. Then we can go back, buy our items, and move on to the next part of the game. This is actually a really good item, so I'm glad we were able to save up enough to buy it. Let's see what we want here. Trade. Let's see. Passionate Rouge. Do I have to unequip it from Marine? The red emblem? Or is there one more level that I didn't notice of upgrades? Oh, there we go. Okay. Passionate Rouge will be received in exchange. Strength plus 100 prevents freeze, petrify, and faint. Hard to argue with that. There you go, Reen. Congratulations, buddy. Freeze, petrify, and faint. That's slick. That's really good. And we have one more. I don't think we can buy anything with it, but never hurts to browse, I guess. Yeah, I need 10 U material to buy a rank 1 quartz. So we're gonna be saving up our U material for quite a while, I feel like. That's a lot. That price is steep. All right, here we go. Let's continue onward. I've still got some time left before the meeting starts. Maybe I should go get some rest. Choosing to rest will cause the main story to advance. Any unseen bonding events will no longer be available. Alright, go ahead. You did your thing, man. I'm proud of you. Eventually, the clock struck 12. One by one, Class 7 began to make their way to the Phoenix Wings cafeteria. And once they had all gathered, they jumped right into discussing what they were going to do from that point forward. Received 9,000 Mira for completing the quest. Nice.
Oh, you went up a rank.
I did.
Here's a little something from the guild.
Shiny Dragon Vein. Braveheart. Hey, look at that. And Invigorate.
Keep it up.
Thanks. You too.
You should be proud of yourself.
Nice! That's my first S rank of any chapter in either game. Look at all these people.
I've thought long and hard about it, and I think we as a class need to find a third way. A path of our own, separate from the ones the reformist and noble factions are taking.
A third way, you say? I do agree. It wouldn't feel quite right for us to directly support either side.
True, we might be military academy students, but we're still students.
Involving ourselves in a civil war isn't something we should take lightly. We might have a divine knight on our side, but we're still going to need to be very careful how we proceed.
Whatever we do, Valimar will certainly be at the center.
No doubt. We've all seen how powerful the Divine Knights are. If we use them right, we can intervene in the war as much as we want.
Ooh. That sounds nice.
They're quite literally beings of legend. However, his potential influence on the war is all the more reason why he will need to be used cautiously.
What are we gonna do then? Even if we agree on not siding with either of the factions, I'm pretty sure each of us have different stuff we want to do. And different things that we have to do too.
Yeah, that's true. For my part, I need to rescue Elise and Princess Alphen from the Noble Alliance's clutches.
Their clutches.
Whether it's alone or with you guys, it's something I'll do.
There's no way you'll be alone for that. We're with you all the way. I'm concerned about Dad too, what with them having him under arrest.
Good guy Machias.
I still can't get in contact with Fiona either. I'm glad I was able to see Dad, but I'm worried about her.
For me, I'm worried about Ruhr as a whole. It's a huge relief to see you're all right, Sharon, but Mother's still unaccounted for.
So everybody knows somebody who's missing, basically.
I'm sorry I can't do more to comfort you, my lady.
And I have no idea where Father's been for the past month. I'm certain he must be well, but all the same.
We're all worried about our families, I see. Hopefully, we can find some information on all of them before the fighting gets any more fierce.
I'm certainly not worried about the safety of mine.
That's true. Eustace doesn't have to worry about that. I noticed a line that I missed when I first played through it, that his father says to Eustace at the end of the last section. Where Eustace's father says, I knew this was going to be an outcome of accepting you into the family. I kind of overlooked that when we were going through, and I wonder what the implications are of that particular line.
Although, suffice it to say, if we choose to intervene in the war, conflict with them is all but inevitable.
That goes for Zeno and Leo too. They've been hired by the Noble Alliance, so I'd say it's likely we'll run into them in the future.
Plus, Emma and I still need to talk to Vita to see what exactly she's trying to do. To figure out what's so important to her that she was willing to break a taboo to do it. That's true.
Whatever you decide to do, you'll have my full support.
His parentage was mentioned last game? Okay. I forgot.
Just as the warriors of Nord did 250 years ago, I'm determined to fight to protect my second homeland and those who live within it.
Oh, same! We can do this!
We can do this! Milliam's just excited to do anything.
I can back him up, right, Claire?
How could I say no?
I have my own duties to take care of as part of the Railway Military Police, but I fully intend to support all of you with everything I have.
I'm thinking it's about time I return to helping the guild, actually.
Oh. Okay, Toval.
But I'll still be in touch with Sarah, so I'm sure I can lend a hand or two anytime you need it.
Naturally, I'd be overjoyed to continue serving as your dormitory's caretaker.
Awesome.
I'm your instructor, so you're stuck with me to the very end. Whatever you choose to do, you'll have my support.
Awesome.
You're going to need to decide on a more specific course of action, though.
More specific. All right. Thank you, Sarah, for not really helping.
Resolving to find a third way is a start, but only a start. It also leaves plenty of questions that need to be answered on top of it all.
Well, then how about this? Let's figure out right now whether or not we want to keep using Ymir as our base of operations.
That's a good start.
Just so we're clear on this, there's a limit to how many people can use the spirit path at any one time.
Oh, really? And what is that limit, Celine?
And with as many people as we have now, I'm not sure how useful it's going to be at this point.
And we're limited on how frequently we can use it.
Oh, right.
But we're also just as limited on where we can go otherwise. We haven't exactly been the most subtle group around. Who's to say we could even operate elsewhere?
That's actually really good. That's a really good point. Ymir is very remote.
An astute point. The Noble Alliance will no doubt be even more wary of us than before.
In the end, no matter what we decide, we lose.
That's a real negative way to think about it, Elisa. Come on, stop being such a downer.
Indeed. Yet we're short on time, so a decision must be made now.
There's gotta be something that only we can do.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I know it exists. And I'm sure that we'll find it. The best thing we can do now is keep talking things out until we find a way. There's no point in rushing into a decision.
Well, doesn't this look fun? Mind if I join in?
Who is this, I wonder?
What in the world?
It couldn't be.
Vita?
She was spying on us the whole time. Naturally.
It's lovely to see you again, Emma.
There's that distortion effect on her model.
You were finally able to reunite with all of your classmates. I'm happy for you. Really, I am. The goddess was on your side after all,
Cut the crap, Vita. Have you been listening in all this time?
Where are you? I'm not far at all. Listen closely now.
What is she up to?
That sounds just like... Is that...
It's coming from above us!
Uh-oh. No way. Well then. Okay, well I guess you can't stay in Ymir.
Isn't that the Noble Alliance Force's flagship?
What's the Pantagruel doing here?
Damn it! I didn't think she'd tell the rest of their army where we were.
But why now?
Why? Because our preparations are finally complete.
Vita!
Vita.
Vita, you're here. Yes, I am here, in the flesh. Good day to you all, Class 7. As nice as it would be to finally give you a hug, Emma, I wouldn't want to keep our guest of honor waiting any longer. So, without further ado...
I was gonna say, is Crow there? Of course he is.
Can't be. Isn't that...
Yes, it is.
The Azure Knight. Crow.
Or Dean, the Azure Knight. There he is.
Long time no see, guys.
Long time no see.
Sorry for dropping in on you like this, but I'm sure you know the drill by now. You ready to have some fun?
Is that really you, Crow?
There's no doubt about it.
See, you damn terrorist.
Come on!
Right! Heed my call! Valimar!
Acknowledged.
Here we go. Is it time for another fight against Crow with our giant robots? I think so. I'm excited. Ooh, here we go.
I'm not gonna lose this time.
Are you sure about that, Rain?
Because at the end of the day, he's just an obstacle that needs to be overcome. So lend me your power, Valimar!
Very well. Use my power as you see fit.
Rain's hometown can't catch a break. We're gonna bust up some buildings.
You've really taken to piloting since your last encounter, haven't you? I was hoping you would, and you didn't let me down. You boys have so much potential. But potential is only that. Potential. And you, Reen, might want to reevaluate just how many obstacles need overcoming.
Oh. Oh. That could be bad. That could be really bad.
This is bad.
That's really bad, Elliot.
Aren't those the Alliance's allies?
Long time no see, kiddos. You doing all right, Fee?
I see the purple lightning has joined your ranks.
Xeno. Leo.
Zephyr!
And a few members of Ouroboros, too. Guess all the big guys wanted a piece of us today.
And look, Sammy's here too. Kindly stop referring to Clown Soleus with that bizarre nickname.
Ah, it's such a pleasure to visit this wintry wonderland once again.
Oh, it's a pleasure, all right. The time for my long-awaited revenge has finally come. Now you shall pay!
Her long-awaited revenge? How much time has it been? Like 4 days?
It's only been 2 days since you first fought them, you know.
2 days. Thank you, McBurn.
This could pose a problem. Why send so many powerful allies here? And all at once?
You've proven to be rather formidable adversaries after all. It wouldn't do to underestimate you.
No way. What is he doing here? Rufus.
I'm pleased to see you all again, ladies and gentlemen of Class 7. As for you, dear brother, I was told that you'd run away from home. It does my heart good to see you safe and sound. So, you've finally gathered up the will to make the difficult choices life set at your feet, I presume. Even if those choices place you in my line of fire?
Yes, I have.
I can't believe he's shown up too.
The Noble Alliance is pulling out all the stops to finally get rid of us, aren't they?
Evidently, they pulled out all the stops. Everything. Actually, all of them.
Reen, we'll take care of everything here. You and Valimar have your own battle to fight.
They're gonna fight off all of those guys. All of them. By themselves. Okay.
Are you sure? We're in for a real brawl out here, but a guy couldn't ask for better opponents.
I've equipped all of your horses. You all have nothing. So, best of luck.
Leave the battle on the ground to us.
We've no intention of backing down without a fight. Wait, Sharon!
I know they're all strong, but still.
They're a little
What do you
outmatched
say we get started?
and a little outnumbered.
Here he comes!
Yeah! Air battle? Are we gonna get an air battle? Oh no, we just have to fly away to a more convenient location.
I'm impressed.
You managed to hold your own better than I expected you to.
Less crowded.
It's only been a month or so, but you've really grown as an Awakener, Reen.
Well, it's hard to go through the kinds of things I have without growing from the experience. And now that I've done all that, I'm going to be the one who takes you down.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
I said you could hold your own, not that you could win. Remember, there's still a 3-year gap's worth of experience between us. And it's time you realize just how much of an impact that gap has.
That's enough, Crow!
That's enough, buddy.
Do they really stand a chance?
Not really, no.
Well, they're putting up a good fight so far, but yeah, it's not looking good. They're outnumbered for one thing.
Then it's time we lent them our aid.
Agreed. Weapons at the ready, guys.
Always in a rush, aren't you?
What is he doing here? Get out of the way.
Stay right where you are. I'll serve as your opponent today.
Wait, he's gonna take on the entire Class 7?
You will?
Trying to stop us from joining in?
I'd rather our intrusion cause as little inconvenience as possible for the people of this village.
Ooh. Oh, here we go.
I'll let you make the first move. It's been quite some time since I last instructed you in fencing uses. I look forward to seeing how you've improved.
Wow.
His guard's perfect.
You can tell just by looking at him.
Stay alert. Rufus is a master of court fencing. We'll need to put all we have into this battle to even stand a chance against him.
I would have it no other way.
All right, good luck, guys. Good luck. Select who will participate in the battle. Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it. This is bad.
Show me what you're capable
At least
of.
Fee has her tanking materia or quartz on.
Okay.
That's this could be really bad, man. Has 150,000 hit points.
Leave this to me.
You said you take the first move and then ran up and hit me, yeah. And then you went first. That's how it goes.
My turn.
Oh, I should have just used Noble Command. This gives you 50% strength, right? No, it's just 25. Okay, good. This gets everybody.
Now's our chance. Don't let it pass.
Leave this to me.
No problem.
Dude.
I'll handle it.
What? You're supposed to attack Fee, you butthead.
Right.
Oh, he sealed her. Wait, do I have anything that cures seal? Does she have Recure? Yeah, she does.
Darkness activate. Hip. Okay.
Alright, let's see. What do we want here? Impede, speed minus 50%?
Eliminating targets.
Let's see if this actually works. Yeah.
Oh, like.
Nice misses,
Too
buddy.
slow. Right.
Slick misses there, mister. Alright, this is the one that heals, right? Yeah, okay.
Hang in there.
You have my things.
My turn.
I think it's funny that he just missed.
My turn.
Alright, you know what? There we go.
Behold the light of the Arcade School! Radiant Wolf!
My turn.
All right, 38,000 damage. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Here I go.
Get him. Get him.
What's that?
Oh damn.
I'll handle this.
Oh no, what is he gonna cast? What's he casting? Nothing. Oh shit. I didn't interrupt in time and he got a crit off. Oh, that's so bad. Oh well.
This is my secret weapon.
Oh well, we'll be fine.
Orbital energy. Judgment arrow.
Not bad, not bad.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna have to do something like this.
I'll take it
I
from
think.
here. Here I go.
Overdrive!
That looks pretty good. Let me guess, you're not weak to anything, are you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Seems like all the humans in the game have the exact same resistances. That is to say, they're not weak to anything.
Now.
So take your pick.
Leave this to me! Sia! They're off guard!
I'll back you up. Of course. Rise, great talons.
Zap him, Emma. Get him.
Lord Altharion.
Ooh, that's so good.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Behold the light of the Arcade School! Radiant Wolf!
Show your strength.
Oh shit. Oh no. He used his Bankai.
I wasn't
Sorry,
strong
everyone.
Show your strength.
Oh, okay. I guess we just lose. I guess we just lose.
Divine lightning.
No.
I mean, he hits everybody for 52,000 damage, so I'm just going to go ahead and assume that you're supposed to lose there. Increased AP by 3. Nice.
Well, I won't deny that was an entertaining diversion. But you do well to intensify your training regimen if you hope to best me.
How is he so strong?
He's a master of court fencing.
You didn't stand a chance.
He might even be stronger than Sarah.
Are you guys okay?
Meanwhile, in the giant robots.
Hey, you really think you've got time to be worrying about them? You ain't getting out of this one, Reen. All right, bring it on! It's time to settle this, Crow!
Whoa, here we go!
Bring it on!
From one epic battle to the next.
This'll be a tough one. Be careful.
It's like we're playing at the end of the last game, all over again. Alright, I can't defend myself.
Let's go! Gotcha!
You took 700 damage? Buddy. I feel like we're not gonna last
Bring it
long.
on. Eat this! Is that all? Hope you're ready.
Is he just gonna spam attacks? Cheater.
Let's go! Gotcha!
736.
Darkness! Clean!
Oh!
Gotcha!
Okay, he's strong. This is bad. I'm glad you noticed.
Now! Gotcha!
This is bad.
Turn! You're wasting your time!
Oh no! No, don't do it!
Hang in there!
Buddy, we didn't stand a
Settled enough
chance.
for you?
Didn't even bother to use that trump card of yours.
He wasn't even trying last time, then was he?
Come on. With the way you are now, I don't even need to try. I'll always win. And that Reen perfectly illustrates just how massive the gulf between us is. Maybe you think you've had it tough up till now, but you're gonna need to go through a hell of a lot more if you want to even the odds.
And then Vita appears out of nowhere.
I see the battle here has come to an end.
Hey Vita.
I can't help but feel a little bummed that everything went exactly as I thought it would.
How boring, right?
Still, it just goes to show how much faith I have in your skills, my sweet Azure Chevalier.
Funny, I don't recall ever becoming yours. How's everything up top?
I think it's only a matter of time before the battle is decided. But we've caused enough trouble for the people of Ymir already. It's about time we brought this to a close. Finestrum Phantasma. Window.
Wait, what is she doing? Oh, hi.
My apologies for not coming down to speak with you in person, ladies and gentlemen of Thor's Military Academy.
Wow, this is neat.
You know who I am, of course, but I am Duke Cayenne, ruler of the Lemaire province and supreme leader of the Noble Alliance.
Duke Cayenne?
So even the big guy himself is here.
I must say, what a curious group we have here. I'd heard as much, but allow me to extend my most heartfelt congratulations. My expectations have thoroughly been exceeded. When I saw young Eustace and Laura in Legram earlier this year, I could never have imagined this is how we would next meet. Oh, I'm sure your parents must have warned you against wandering off with such disreputable individuals on a number of occasions.
Disreputable.
But I suppose every child thinks that they alone know what is best for themselves.
That's me, disreputable.
Duke Alberea was simply livid about what happened. But it can't hurt to learn more about the outside world,
Everywhere that leaves his mouth is condescending.
Did you come all the way here just to tell us that?
Don't be silly, child. Reen Schwarzer. I had this meeting arranged because I wanted to speak with you.
Well, he did all this because he wanted to speak with Reen?
Perhaps the method was a touch too garish for something so simple, but do forgive me for not formally requesting an audience.
This whole thing could have been an email.
With me?
With you. Allow me to get right to the point. I wish to invite you, Ashen Chevalier, aboard our flagship.
Wait, why?
I've heard all about your magnificent exploits across the land. And so I thought it would be nice to sit down and have a long, pleasant chat with you.
And then what else is there? There's some catch, right?
About the past, the present, as well as your future.
Definitely not trying to kill us. That's right.
Are you suggesting?
You want Reen to join the Noble Alliance?
Should you accept my invitation, we will withdraw peacefully from Ymir.
Oh, no. Is he gonna blackmail Reen into working with the Noble Alliance?
Furthermore, I give you my personal assurance that we will leave this village alone for the duration of this war. A fine proposition, is it not? Are we interested?
Very well.
Very well. Okay, very well.
Allow me to accept your invitation.
Don't be an idiot! This is clearly a trap. They wouldn't come all the way out here and take you into their flagship if it weren't.
Obviously, it's a trap, Salim.
I appreciate your concern. But trap or not, this might be a good chance for us, too. I think I'd regret it if I let it pass. Balamar, transport Celine back outside.
Oh, he's gonna get rid of Celine.
Now hold it right there!
Oh, this is just Reen getting revenge for what she did at the end of the first game.
Don't worry about me. The odds were against all of us getting back together, but we did it.
For a short time, yeah. I guess we were all back together for a couple days.
And I'm sure we can do it again, too. So just wait with Emma for now. I'll be back before you know it. Balamar, if you would.
Very well.
Wait!
Bye! Goodbye, Celine.
It seems the time has come for us to part ways once again. But remember this, you're an Alberea. There is power and dignity in that name, to whatever end you would use it. I want you to prove that the convictions you cling to are worthy of your loyalty. Not for my benefit, but for yours.
Wait!
Lord Rufus!
Lord Rufus!
Well met, Lord Schwarzer. It's a pleasure to see you again. Allow me to extend my apologies for the harm my father visited upon this town and its people.
Never mind that. What do you intend to do with my son? And what is a promising young man like yourself?
We're simply going to borrow young Reen for a short while. There's nothing to worry about.
He was listening, right? This was I feel like that was a general announcement. So didn't he hear that exactly what they're going to do with his son?
I'm a busy man these days, though, so for now, I bid you adieu.
Man, this is cruel.
Reen! Reen!
We all finally got back together, too. Why?
Reen!
Sorry, but I'll be back, I promise.
Master Reen.
So stay safe.
Reen! Reen!
What a twist. What a twist. What's the point of fighting then? They were bored. Little bored. There. Okay, so that's the end of Act 1. Ashen Chronicles. We did it. We completed the first act of the game. Everyone's bonds have strengthened. Reen and Elliot reached Link level 3. Not that that matters much at this point. But there you go. Reen and Sharon, or Laura, are now Link level 3. Anger? Wait, her level 3 thing is anger? Auto charge, okay. Uses, arts, support. Oh, that's interesting. Counterattack and cover. Fee is now link level 4. Counterattack and powerful strike. Instructors Sarah, cover and cover, so they cover each other. Is that so if you link the two of them together, they just cast cover on one another? Toval, level 3, art support and powerful strike. Okay. Beautiful. Fought well against Rufus. That got us an extra 3 AP. Fantastic. Well, things sure have gone downhill, haven't they? Just a few days ago, we were so happy, rescuing hapless fish maidens. But now here we are. Noble Alliance Forces flagship, the aerial battleship Pantagruel. I figured that was the case. There he is. Dr. Pepper. I mean, Duke Cayenne.
So this is what Duke Cayenne looks like from up close. It's hard to believe that I've ended up in the same room as the leader of the Noble Alliance. Although, I guess we did meet back in Legram before the war broke out.
Reen Schwarzer. Truth be told, we don't want this war to drag on any more than you do.
Really?
We only acted as we did, due in part to our dearly departed Chancellor's behavior being far too unreasonable to justify turning a blind eye. He garnered the trust of His Majesty, and in turn misused that trust. He flagrantly disregarded this nation's beloved culture and traditions, treating Erebonia as if it were his own personal property.
Yeah, okay, so now he's gonna spew a bunch of propaganda to try to confuse Reen. I see.
Surely you too noticed this.
Well, I can't say I disagree. We did hear story after story during our field studies about how aggressive his policies were. About the way he didn't care how many enemies he made as a result, creating terrorist groups like the Imperial Liberation Front.
But as I said, the cause of our nation's ills is now gone. Now, all that remains is to turn back the hands of time just a touch, and the good old days of the Empire will be upon us once more. The key to this bright future lies in putting aside our differences and joining hands. Am I wrong?
This man has the most punchable face I have ever seen.
I'm afraid that yes, you are.
You are wrong. Kick him in the balls.
Do you honestly believe that people can so easily put aside their differences after all the Alliance has done?
There you go, Reen.
You occupied Heimdall and effectively took every one of its citizens hostage, imprisoned the Imperial family. And let's not forget how you're now in league with the enemy nation responsible for the destruction of Gorelia Fortress.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
After all that, the Imperial army would never bow their heads to the likes of you, even if the rest of the population did.
Miga, make Erebonia great again?
My word, I'm afraid there's been a terrible misunderstanding. The Imperial family is simply under our loving protection. They certainly haven't been imprisoned.
Loving protection. Yeah, that's right.
But that does bring me to exactly why I want you to help us.
It does?
The Azure Knight is already on our side. But if we had your Ashen Knight as well...
So he wants to put an end to the war. I'm still confused as to what he intends to do with Calvert.
That would mean we'd have two of the great knights of Erebonian legend to put into play. Couple them with our Panzer Soldats, and the Imperial Army's armored divisions would cower before us. You may not find us winning the war ideal, but this union benefits everyone more than carrying on until our inevitable victory,
I feel like we're seconds away from Reen saying no, and then Duke Cayenne saying, well, I guess we're just going to have to destroy Ymir then.
I don't think it's that simple.
I beg to differ. The presence of soldats units on a battlefield makes a tremendous difference. What they may lack in firepower and armor compared to tanks, they make up for in mobility and versatility. But more important than even those factors is the psychological impact they have on our opponents.
Well, the psychological impact.
We're only human. As such, we are as captivated as we are terrified of giant beings bearing human form.
I guess I see what they're saying, yeah.
And if that holds true even for mass-produced soldats made with modern technology, it will be all the more true for the divine knights of legend you and Crow possess.
Can't argue with that logic.
I will say it once more. Gileath Osborne is dead. And with his death, all that's left to be done is end this ridiculous war and return order to the Empire. Only then will everything be as it should. That includes both your pleasant academy life and the peaceful days of darling Elise and her friend the princess.
You see, there you go. Now he's indirectly threatening the princess and his sister.
Are you trying to?
Whatever you ultimately decide, their safety is guaranteed.
So you say.
I would ask that you promise him this, if nothing else, Your Grace.
But of course, I'm not a monster.
Not yet. He's not desperate enough.
Rufus.
We may stand on opposite sides of this conflict, but I still sit on Thor's board of directors. And in that capacity, I suggest you consider carefully the choice before you. After all, every soldier must decide for himself whether a cause is worth fighting, perhaps even dying for. I look forward to hearing your answer.
I feel a sequence where they're like, it would have been better if you had agreed with us, but we're going to make you work for us anyway. Please come with us, Master Reen. We will escort you to your guest room. Food and refreshments will be provided for you there. All right, well then. That was a interesting little sequence. Intermission aboard the Pantagruel. How quickly things go wrong, right? We had all of Class 7 there. We thought things were just going to take off. And all of a sudden, boom. Reen is effectively taken hostage. Pantagruel guest area. This thing is swanky. What is... I mean... It has these giant guns and a chandelier.
All that's left to be done is end this ridiculous war and return order to the Empire. Only then will everything be as it should. That includes both your pleasant academy life and the peaceful days of darling Elise and her friend the princess.
I suggest you consider carefully the choice before you. After all, every soldier must decide for himself whether a cause is worth fighting, perhaps even dying for. I look forward to hearing your answer.
It's hard to argue that this war began because the noble faction went too far.
What should I do, Bunny? What should I do?
But the longer it goes on, the more people are going to suffer. Am I really okay with that? If I join them, I could reduce the number of victims, be friends with Crow again, free Elise and Princess Alphen.
And everything's gonna be just hunky-dory, Reen. Everything's gonna go back to the way it was before all of this happened.
No, this isn't that simple. Think, Rain, think. I was able to reunite with the others, but Elise and Princess Alvin are still in the Alliance's custody. What's the best thing I can do? This isn't just about me. What do all of us want to do?
Keep racking your brain like that and smoke will start coming out of your ears.
Don't trust him. Don't trust him.
What do you want?
Hey now, no need to give me that look. I figured I was gonna find you busy thinking everything over like your life depended on it. And what do you know? I was right.
Don't trust him. He's gonna try to sweet talk you. That's what he does.
How about you mind your own damn business? And don't you have better things to do with your time? I figured the glorious Azure Chevalier would be far too busy with the war to be hanging out around here.
It's tough being popular. If you joined us, I could get away with doing half the work I am now. So come on, stop freaking out about it so much and make a choice.
Crow is just dripping with belts. He has almost a dozen belts.
This isn't something I can just decide by flipping a coin, Crow.
Are you sure?
And besides, it'd probably be an easier choice if not for a certain someone. What's that in your hand, anyway?
Lunch.
Grub, of course.
Oh my god. Reen and Crow are gonna have a picnic.
Kinda early, but I brought you your lunch. Mind if I join you?
Burgers? And onion rings? Man, that looks good.
Hamburgers, fries, and onion rings, huh? I was expecting something more fancy like I had last night.
Oh, that kind of food more your thing? Okay then, give me a minute while I go ask the chef to whip something up.
No, this is fine. The burger looks delicious.
Excuse me.
Cool. All right, dig in.
Nom nom nom
This
nom.
tastes kind of different from a normal burger.
It's meat from people. Commoners.
Oh, no wonder. It's got whitefish in it.
Oh, it's a fish burger.
Yeah, they're called fish burgers.
It's a fish burger.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, the tartar sauce makes for an unusual extra flavoring too. This tastes amazing.
It should taste amazing. Because it tastes like betrayal, Reen.
I like this way more than the food I had last night, to be honest.
Well, glad to hear it. Guess it was worth putting my cooking skills to the test after all.
Don't you try to pass it off like you cooked this, Crow.
Wait, you made this?
Was my first time cooking in a while, too. Sharon could probably do better, though. But I wanted to give it a shot anyway. This stuff was like soul food back in Dry, where I grew up.
Oh.
To think, all the time we spent searching for the leader of the Imperial Liberation Front, and he was right under our noses.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just gonna have lunch with the guy that killed the Chancellor and betrayed all of our friends and tried to have us killed on a number of occasions.
Crow Armbrust from the Jirai SEZ.
Oh, yeah. Vita was using some weird thing of hers to let you see what was going on, wasn't she? So I guess you saw what happened there.
Hey, Dark Fantasy Realms.
Yeah. Jirai was that special economic zone in the Northwest you guys went to during our August field study, too.
We didn't run into anything like that in the Dry Special Economic Zone. Though I guess that makes sense, seeing as it's under the direct control of the Imperial government and not a noble. I seem to recall that it was annexed 8 years ago, is that right? Yeah, the Empire stitched it on nice and neat without much opposition. Now it's prospering as a special economic zone on the coast. Seemed like a pretty lively place.
So you ended up going back to your old hometown then?
Yeah, by pure coincidence. It's changed a lot since I was last there, so it was kind of surreal being back again. But it was nostalgic in its own way, too.
It's been bugging me for a long time now. What could have made you want to join a group of terrorists like the Imperial Liberation Front?
What do you mean join them? Didn't he start them?
What was it that made you hate Chancellor Osborne that much? Enough to take his life? Oh, tell me, Crow, please.
Now.
I want to know what it was that made you who you are now. What kind of place Jirai was, how you lived there, and what you were doing before you entered the academy and met Toa, Angelica, and George.
Start at the beginning. Bro, I want to know exactly how you grew up. Tell me what you were doing when you were 4 years old. Give me the whole life story, Crow.
Where's the fun in prying into a guy's past? Save all that talk for your number one in class. Who's the lucky girl anyway? Elisa? Laura? Emma? Fee? And don't tell me it's Milliam, because, you know, it...
I'm serious, Crow. I really want to know. Think of telling me your past as paying off the interest you owe in that 50 Mira. Because until I know, until we know, we won't be able to move forward.
You're really serious.
Crow?
That man even has belts hanging off of his belts.
My past really isn't that big of a deal, you know. It's got nothing on yours, that's for sure. If you find yourself thinking that's all when I'm done, well, I warned you. So, you really want to know?
Yeah. Nothing you say will change my mind. Please, tell me.
Tell me, Crow. Lay it all out there.
All right, you win.
You owe the Bank of Reen all that interest.
Like I said, it's just your run-of-the-mill sob story.
Reen collects memories.
Pick up any history textbook and you'll probably find a dozen others just like it. It's the kind of story that's so common no one bothers to remember it, like it never even happened. Back in those days, Jirai was known as Jirai City. It was a city-state off the coast of northwest Zemuria that prospered through maritime trade with West Erebonia, Northumbria, and Remiferia. It had a population of around 150,000 people, so it wasn't exactly a big place or anything. Because of that, the surrounding nations left it alone and let us live out our days in peace. We were pretty fortunate, all things considered. Until about 20 years ago.
And then the Fire Nation attacked.
That was when the Northumbrian disaster struck, and much of the Principality of Northumbria was turned to salt.
I'm sorry, what happened to Northumbria?
And as a result, trade on the northwest shore was reduced to virtually nothing. Day after day, Jirai's prosperity started to fade away. Still, it wasn't all bad. We had our fishing, our historic landmarks, our septium mines. We could make use of those to get trade going again, both to keep our state running and to help out Northumbria. In fact, the one who advocated that approach was the mayor, my grandfather.
Oh, this is the grandson of the mayor, I see.
He was the last mayor Jirai City ever had.
Aw, look at cute young Crow.
He was a stubborn old bastard, but he had this wry sense of humor and was well loved by everyone. I lost my mom and dad early, so he was also my only living relative.
Oh, and Crow also lost both of his parents. Okay, great.
He taught me just about everything a guy could know. He was like a mom, dad, and your old master rolled into one, I guess. Anyway, fast forward to 10 years ago. Out of nowhere, we received this proposal from the Erebonian government.
Okay.
They said they wanted to extend a railway line from Heimdall all the way to Jirai. We relied on the sea for trade before, but there wasn't any reason to believe we couldn't benefit from being connected to Heimdall by rail.
In fact, that seems like a very big benefit to trade. Shipping goods directly to Heimdall? That quickly?
The proposal drew overwhelming support from the city's council, and as a result, my grandfather was forced to accept. Within a year, the city had all of its old life back and then some. The streets were more bustling than ever.
So his grandfather was against it.
But keep in mind, this was the result of huge amounts of imperial capital flowing into the city. Land and buildings we once treasured were bought up left and right. Everything became a target for investment. People only cared about making money. Something similar supposedly happened in Crossbell too, but unlike there, no opposition existed in Jirai. My grandfather sensed something was off, and he tried what he could to get the situation under control. Then one day, someone blew up the railway line leading to Jirai.
Someone blew it up.
Everyone demanded that it be repaired as quickly as possible. Everyone except the Imperial government. Instead, they panned our national security arrangements for being insufficient and threatened to withdraw all Imperial capital.
Oh, interesting.
The city was left in an uproar like we'd never seen. Shares plummeted, and with no one able to ascertain the culprit's identity, chaos reigned.
Is he suggesting that the Empire blew up their own bridge?
That was when he showed up. Chancellor Gileath Osborne, in his third year as representative of the Imperial government, personally came to Jirai. We then received a second proposal.
The restoration of the railway and its future security will be seen to by the Imperial Army. In return for our continued assistance in safekeeping, Jirai will come under the wing of our glorious empire and attain even greater prosperity as a special economic zone.
The timing was too good to be true, really. Realizing this, my grandfather staunchly opposed the idea. He tried everything he could to convince the city's council to reject the offer. Unfortunately, once you taste the sweet fruit of prosperity, it's hard to want to go back.
Yeah, exactly. And what was the alternative? Hey, let's all just throw that all away and go back to the way it was before?
The council, made up of influential merchants and all their greed, jumped at the offer. And tempted by the elimination of customs, together with the tax breaks from being an SEZ, many of the citizens did too. And during all that, they'd conveniently found a suspect behind the railway incident. My grandfather.
Wait, what?
He loved Jirai more than anyone, and up till then, its people loved him too.
They accused his grandfather of blowing up the railway line? Yeah, like that guy went and did it all by himself.
And yet, virtually overnight, he found himself facing the wrath of both the city's council and the citizens alike. Left with no choice, he resigned from his position as mayor, and Jirai formally became part of the empire. Both of these things happened on the same exact day. That was 8 years ago. Naturally, everyone knew my grandfather wasn't the one who did it. They knew who was really responsible. They just turned a blind eye to the truth. See? I warned you. Just your run-of-the-mill sob story.
I don't know what to say, Crow. What happened to him after that? Your grandfather.
One day, he just up and died.
He just died. Man, Crow says that so coldly.
Once he resigned, the whole affair with the railway getting blown up was all but forgotten. He lived comfortably in retirement for about half a year, fell ill, and that was that. He just lost the will to go on, I guess.
Brutal.
Like I said, he was the only family I had. I mean, I had plenty of friends even then, but I chose to leave it all behind. I was 13 at the time.
Full of anger.
I wandered the land, doing whatever I had to get by. That was when I met old Cayenne, who happily indulged my hatred for the Chancellor. And with his financial backing, I went out with the goal to find others who were just like me.
Interesting. So their relationship goes back basically to the beginning.
That was the beginning of the Imperial Liberation Front.
I didn't realize that Crow and Cayenne had known each other that long.
Gideon, Scarlet, and Vulcan were among those I recruited. I'd also met Vita then. I only knew her as the woman who would often come to see Cayenne. She guided me to a place below the city of Ortis, and there slept the Azure Knight Ordine. One after another, I overcame the same trials you did with your friends, but alone.
Alone? He did all that by himself?
And once I'd proven myself worthy, Ordine accepted me as his awakener. That was 3 years ago. I was 16. My preparations complete, I concealed my background and enrolled in a military academy near the capital. Everything I did for the sole purpose of taking the Chancellor's head.
You look so self-satisfied in this picture right here.
Come on now, what's with the face? You look sadder about all this than I do.
Yeah, I guess.
Went 1v4 against him last game and had to reset. Yeah, that's true. He's a pretty strong guy. Still.
I swear. I'm not trying to tell you the Chancellor was evil or anything.
But he was evil.
What?
Still, there's no denying that he managed to outwit my grandfather. And he may have lost, but Pop's always loved a good gamble. It's thanks to him that I'm pretty good at chess, card games, that kind of stuff. I'd say it's fairly normal for a student to want to avenge his master's defeat, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't say it's normal to go quite that far, though. What you did was Bruce Wayne level of insanity there, Crow.
Maybe.
At the end of the day, there's no denying this country has problems, and the Chancellor's methods were making them worse.
But, Duke Cayenne's a pretty stand-up guy, so we definitely want him in charge. Oh yeah, for sure.
I studied those problems, worked out how to use the situation to my advantage, and then won the game with an all-or-nothing gamble. But when you think of how peaceful Jirai is now, I'd say I've got a duty to clear up the mess left behind by my game too, which means ending this war and restoring peace. So it's only when that's done that my game is truly over. I don't want whatever your decision is to be influenced by my past, okay?
Oh, he head patted Reen. He head patted Reen. What if Reen head pats him back right now? It's kind of his thing, right?
Like Rufus said, you need to think long and hard about what it is you're fighting for.
Yeah, Cayenne he completely manipulated this kid into revenge against Osborn. Funded him, encouraged him to go find out others like him, and man, that's just brutal.
For you, more than anyone else.
Yeah, but Crow.
Anyway, I think I've stuck around here for long enough. You're gonna be treated as a visitor. Well, sort of. It's about time for the higher-ups to head back to Heimdall, so go ahead and pass the time however you want.
However I want? What else can I even do here?
I can talk to all of the NPCs, Reen. Uh-oh, what's that? What is that? What's happening? Oh, there they go. Okay, so they're heading off to Heimdall. Got it. Is Crow the MC now that he head patted Reen? I would venture to guess that he was always the MC. Reen has always been a side character.
There'll be no guards outside your room, so if you want to try and escape, be my guest. Just keep in mind that some members of Ouroboros and Zephyr are on board too. Not to mention me, Scarlet, and Vulcan. So if you're up for a gamble of your own, get ready to take all of us on.
Sounds fun.
Oh yeah, one more thing. There's this real cute visitor in the guest of honors room on the second floor.
Uh-oh.
I think she'd perk right up if she saw you, so why not go pay her a visit? Just don't go making your girl jealous, okay?
Secretly poison all their food?
I wonder who he means.
I think Reen can do it.
He said she's in the guest of honors room.
I wonder who it could be.
Well, I can't waste much time here. I told everyone I'd definitely come back soon. Right now, I need to gather as much information as I can.
All right, time to talk to some NPCs.
Make my choice after that. At least then, it'll be an informed one.
Character notebook updated. Oh yeah? Is he a supporter? Is he a... wait. Updated how? Oh. He's a member of Class 7. I guess technically that's correct? But I don't think I would regard him as that right now. The Azure Knights Awakener enrolled at Thor's to one day take the life of the Chancellor, which he succeeded in doing. He grew up in Jirai City and joined hands with Duke Cayenne in order to avenge his grandfather, its mayor. Who Osborne indirectly killed, I guess? I mean, he died of old age, effectively, is what I gathered. And despair. Old age and despair.
I can sense someone inside.
Sense them. Okay. Knock.
Come on in if you like.
That sounds like... Excuse me.
Go in, Green. Enter the room. There's Scarlet.
Hello there, love.
Hello, Scarlet. Good to see you again.
I'd heard you came on board yesterday, so I did wonder whether we would run into one another at some point.
Hello, Scarlet. Last time we spoke was a month and a half ago near Trista, I think.
Quite a memorable day for both of us, wasn't it? There's no need to stand over there. Come and have a seat.
Yes, go sit next to her.
I'll pour us some tea.
Tea? Okay.
You really don't have to.
I wonder what kind of tea she likes.
Well, I guess there's no harm in chatting for a bit.
Is today the day we learn how she lost her eye? Definitely not gonna poison you. Definitely not gonna stab you. You're safe here. Don't you worry.
These tea leaves really are wonderful, aren't they? Only the best for the airship of Erebonia's most powerful noble, I suppose.
I have to admit, the fragrance is like no tea I've ever had before. You're right, though. It makes sense if it's something Duke Cayenne personally chose.
Oh? I was under the impression that your family is a part of the nobility, too. Your father is a baron, isn't he?
He might be a noble, but generally barons aren't all that wealthy.
Yeah, we can't afford tea like this. This is rich noble tea. We're poor nobles.
We live a relatively modest lifestyle.
Oh, really?
I love that.
I wouldn't have thought it before, but maybe my family was actually more well off than yours.
And Scarlet, I heard she lost her old hometown when he went and built a railway through it.
What kind of family did you come from then?
Oh, they weren't nobles, if that's what you're wondering. They were just relatively wealthy farmers. We were almost local celebrities in a way.
She was a farmer?
Oh, I see.
You're wondering how someone like me became a terrorist?
No, not at all. Thank you. Goodbye.
It's written all over your face.
Oh, really?
Well, I can't deny that I'm curious.
She can read you like a book, Reen.
I heard that you lost your hometown because Osborne built a railway through it.
Oh, did C tell you? No, I suppose it must have been V. He never was one to keep quiet about things.
So, I mean, what happened?
Well, you see, one day I was living there and then he built a railway through my town, Reen.
Some things are best left unsaid, I think. It's not as if knowing would somehow allow you to change things.
I suppose.
You're so adorable, Reen. Now I know why C took a liking to you.
He can't help himself. He's just that way.
What do you say? How about you come and fight with me and the other big girls and boys? It'll be fun, I promise.
Please, stop teasing me.
That's what war's all about. Having fun.
Anyway, thank you for the tea. It wasn't just made with high-quality leaves. It was brewed exceptionally, too.
You're very welcome.
I'm a professional tea brewer. Nice of you to notice. The tea is still full.
Oh, actually, I may as well ask while I have the chance.
You didn't actually drink it, Reen.
Where did you learn how to use that weapon of yours anyway? It's pretty unique.
Oh, that? I suppose it can't hurt to tell you. The holy city of Arteria.
The Arteria? Where the high seat of the Septian Church is?
That's the one. It's called a Templar sword, and it's a traditional weapon in the church. A few years ago, I was studying to be a sister and was trained in how to use it there.
Surely you must be talking about some other church, right?
She wanted to be a nun? Is that what she just said? She was studying to be a nun? And then she became some mercenary murderer? Like, murder machine? Nice.
You're telling me there are sisters in the Septian Church who use weapons like that?
There are more things in this world you don't know than you could possibly imagine.
That is great. That bit of lore is fantastic.
Well, it doesn't matter much now. I ended up returning to Erebonia before my training was complete.
Murder nuns are canon in the Septian Church.
Oh?
Anyway, that's all I'm telling you for now. I'll give you the full story if you decide to join us. Sound fair? And if you choose not to join, well, that way has its own charms, I suppose.
Ma'am, please.
She ended up being a lot friendlier than I expected her to be.
They're gonna all be friendly, Reen. They want something from you.
I wonder how much of what she was saying about being a sister was true. She seemed to really hate the Chancellor. I wonder what she intends to do now that he's gone.
Retire. She's gonna become a nun. Weren't you paying attention? Who is this? Hello. Good day, Master Reen. My name is Albert, a butler in the service of the Duke. If I can do anything to make your stay a comfortable one, do not hesitate to let me know. Can I play the piano? Nope. This has got to be V's room, right?
I can sense someone inside. And judging by the fact that S is in the next room.
We're gonna hang out with V for a bit. This ought to be fun.
It's open. Come on in.
Excuse me.
Vulcan.
Oh, it's you.
I like how he's still strapped with his C4 or grenades or whatever that is. When he's just lounging around his ready room, his stateroom, right? Just sitting there with explosives.
You finished talking with C?
His name's Crow, not C. And he's never going to be anything else for me.
Oh, I know his real name. But to us, he's always gonna be C. That's our leader. You might be young, but each and every one of us look up to him and respect him. Anyway, take a seat. You got a whole lot of questions, I bet.
Does you asking that mean you're willing to answer them?
Depends on the questions.
What a canny answer. You have a lot of questions, don't you? I may or may not answer them, but you're free to ask. Yeah, nice. Thanks.
Just out of curiosity.
Where'd you get the scar from?
How many members does the Imperial Liberation Front have left? I know the explosion back in the mine was staged, obviously.
Sure was. Anyway, 10, give or take. We lost most of our members as soon as the war started kicking into gear.
10? 10 people left, wow.
Oh. Is that because the group's primary objective had been fulfilled?
Basically, yeah. We all came from different backgrounds, but the one thing we had in common was that we hated that bastard's guts. So after he'd kicked it, most of the guys didn't really have any reason for sticking around.
I mean, that totally makes sense, absolutely.
Can't say I blame him for calling it quits.
Crow said that seeing this war through to its end was the last part of his game. Are the members who haven't left sticking around for similar reasons?
They're here because of Crow, right? That's gotta be the reason. They're there because they want to support Crow, whatever it is that he wants to do.
Interesting question. Can't speak for the others, but me, I don't really care how this war goes. I mean, I'm a former Jaeger who can hold his own in a fight. I've always lived for war. And teaching those dumbasses in the provincial armies how to pilot soldats is a job worth doing, even if it's a pain.
So he's also teaching them how to pilot soldats? Why does every Jaeger know how to pilot a soldat?
If we disband, I'll find myself something else to do.
I see. I can't defend the assassination of the Chancellor or what you did near Trista, but I'd be happy if you chose to disband at least.
You're a funny kid, being oddly nice to us after all the shit we caused, don't you think?
The cycle of hatred's gone on for long enough. Crimes you've committed will never vanish, but no one wants this war to go on longer than it has to. It's not as though you guys want war, do you?
He did say that he lives for war, Reen.
That's enough of the niceties. You've got time to worry about us. Use it to worry about yourself. Whether you choose to side with the Alliance or go against them, you've got a tough road ahead, whether you like it or not. Make sure to think long and hard before you decide. And if we end up as enemies again, show me what you got. On the battlefield, I mean.
How else would I have taken that, Vulcan? What else would I'm confused. What else would I have thought that you meant?
Excuse me.
Show me what you've got on the basketball court.
Think I might have been too harsh on the kid.
Nah.
Still,
he can take it.
Yeah. He's probably perfect for the job.
He saw right through me. He's not wrong, though. I should be worrying about myself right now. He seemed kind of different, though. Like he'd lost his spark. His sole objective in life seemed to be to get revenge for his old Jaeger Corps killed by Osborn.
So now that that's done...
Maybe he's just not sure what to do with himself now that he's done just that?
Is there anything upstairs? Wait, Blue Block is here, just chilling? I guess that makes sense. Yes, okay, so there's... Wait, somebody at the end of the hall. Let's go see who that is. Is there anything I may be able to help you with? I'll do anything that I can to make your stay a pleasant one.
This should be the guest of honors room.
Oh, it's the guest of honors room.
It sounds like whoever's in there is busy. Might be better to swing by later.
You were specifically asked to go visit that person. Oh well, I want to be polite. You know, I got good guy Reen has to be polite. Barges into people's houses, but won't barge into this person's room.
Good day to you, Reen Schwarzer.
Man in white. Like, I don't know who this is. Just put his name there.
What the? You're the Phantom Thief! You sure look comfortable. What are you doing here?
Oh, he's got one of those fancy circular ice cubes in his glass, by the way. Spherical, I mean.
Ha ha! Why wouldn't I be? I'm as much a guest on this ship as you are. And who would deny themselves the pleasure of a ship so beautiful? The furnishings are immaculate. The food and wine are positively sumptuous. And I am of the firm belief that it's wasteful not to take advantage of the opportunities life presents you.
I get the sense that this guy got onto this ship, ordered a drink, and has not had a drink out of his hand ever since then.
Ah, and speaking of opportunities, don't just stand there. Take a seat and join me in having a drink.
Exactly my point. Thank you.
You've been blessed with the rare chance to sit and chat one-on-one with the most beloved thief of our time.
I can't believe that's how you describe yourself. Well, what the hell? I'll have a drink.
Name a more beloved thief then, Reen. Obviously you can't, so, I mean, his point stands, right?
Nothing alcoholic, though.
Most beloved.
Funny. I didn't realize you'd met Prince Olivert.
Ha! Indeed. There are few even among royals whose palate is so refined as his. Between our shared love of beauty and fundamental difference of opinion on the nature of love, he forever remains an endless source of entertainment for me.
I suddenly feel very sorry for him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Reen's in the same situation, I feel like, because Blue Blanc has taken an almost unhealthy obsession with him.
What happened down in Liberl sounds pretty amazing, though. I'd heard there were problems with orbital technology in southern Ereboni at the time, but I had no idea that was why.
Ha ha! That magnificent floating city was quite the sight to behold, let me tell you. Oh, how I wish I could have shown it to you. It would have changed your view of the world completely.
It really does sound amazing. Wait, why am I sitting here having a friendly discussion with a wanted criminal?
What else are you going to do with your time, Reen?
He has so many interesting and unusual stories, I got completely caught up listening to them.
Ha ha! A thief of my caliber can steal much more than objects, Reen.
I steal time, and attention, and energy.
There. I was able to steal much of your time and your interest.
Ah! Yes, exactly. Called it.
Perhaps I stole your heart as well?
No. God, no.
Rest assured that did not happen. Your stories were interesting, though, I'll admit. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know where Prince Olivert is now, would you? Last I checked, he wasn't actively fighting against the Alliance.
Ha ha! I imagined Duke Cayenne would welcome a man like the Prince with open arms into the Alliance, if he so wished to join. To my knowledge, he was always wary of the Chancellor himself. But I digress. I'm afraid not even I know where he is at the moment.
Yeah, it's funny that the Prince and that entire airship just disappeared.
However, I'm inclined to believe that wherever he's hiding, the Crimson Wings is there with him.
So the Courageous is missing too, then. Although the Duke's got some nerve if he expects Prince Olivert to side with him after he imprisoned the rest of the Imperial family.
Maybe that's why he would side with him, out of concern for his family.
But think, these kinds of things are simply what the great nobles of this country have always done. The War of the Lions, too, was brought about by numerous families of some standing backing potential successors to the throne. Emperor Dreikel's, as a late arrival to the war, was a mere exception to the rule. I wonder, does Prince Olivert think himself as the second coming of Dreikel's?
One of which is to bring the winds of change to Thor's military academy. A gust of fresh air, if you will.
Wait a second. Was that code? This whole
I'll
time?
admit, I hesitated to allow it, but I decided to place my hopes in you. We believed then, as we still do, that one day you all will be a great light that can push back the darkness of this country.
I don't think he does. From what I can tell, he intends to try and end this war in a slightly different way from Dreikel's.
Oh? Do tell.
Sorry, but I should be going. Thanks for all the interesting stories. They helped me work through things in my head a bit.
Ha ha! I'm pleased to hear it.
Wait, why are you wearing that mask now, buddy?
I will be waiting at the edge of my seat to hear which path you choose. Join us, and you'll be warmly welcomed.
Why did you put it on now? Why now?
Naturally, I'm fascinated by you as the Ashen Knight's pilot. But I'm even more fascinated with that brute strength of yours. I would love the chance to see the power of an ogre up close.
I doubt it's half as interesting as what you're thinking. Anyway, if you'll excuse me.
Man, get away from that guy as quickly as possible. He's a creep and a half. Hello? Oh, what's that girl with the Leia buns?
Having to travel to and from Crossbell like this is utterly exhausting.
Duvally.
No, I mustn't complain. I'm doing this for the sake of my lord.
Oh, my lord!
Didn't I see her in Legram?
Who goes there?
Nobody? The guy that didn't want to bust into somebody else's room, but definitely just busted into this one.
Wait! You're the Ashen Knight's pilot!
I remember you now. You're with Ouroboros. Duvally the Swift, right?
Have you no shame? Is it perhaps normal for you to barge into a lady's room unannounced?
I don't see any ladies around here, Duvally. Could you point them out to me kindly?
You and that Arseid are only as bad as each other, I swear! Learn your place!
Actually, I just walked through the door normally. I should have probably knocked before I came in, though. Sorry about that.
Hey, Gagolian, thank you very much for that raid. Welcome, everyone, from Gagolian's chat. Hope you all had a fantastic night. It's good to see all of you. Hello, welcome. Everyone, if you have not yet done so, please take a moment to check out Gagolian. His broadcast is always fantastic. Hail, well met, everybody. Duvally is changing into her proper attire right now. Welcome.
So, now that we're understood, what do you want?
If this is your first time here, I am the sharply dressed man. We're playing a little bit of Trails of Cold Steel 2 tonight. This is Anime Night, Season 3, Episode 8. How is your broadcast? Hello, Corior.
Have you come to tell me that you'll be fighting on our side after all?
I came to confess my love for you, Duvally.
Can you not jump to conclusions? Besides, it's not like you're working with the Alliance because you agree with what they're doing.
Oh, naturally.
Naturally.
Lady Clotilde seems to have a purpose of her own, but for my part, I have no obligation to help the Alliance whatsoever.
And yet here you are.
I'm simply cooperating because I was told doing so was necessary to the plan.
Would that be the great plan? Stream was great. You started playing Spider-Man. Hey, nice. Awesome.
Plan? I'm not sure what she's getting at.
Is it the great plan or is it the ineffable plan?
Just so we're clear, that lord you keep mentioning isn't Vita Clotilde, is it?
No. She may be an Anguis like her, but my lord is the seventh, not the second. She's the leader of the Stahlritter, the great light which guides us.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna get an introduction to the seventh Anguis in very dramatic form. Are you ready?
Gallant yet beautiful, proud yet merciful.
Uh-huh. Go on.
She's the strongest knight of all. And oh, she's simply divine.
Go on, tell me more. Tell me more.
Well,
don't stop now.
Made it clear how great you think she is.
Don't stop now.
So the head of the Stahlritter is also a woman?
She certainly is. And if you must know, 100 swordsmen of your strength couldn't hope to equal her. No, 1,000. Even 10,000 of you wouldn't be able to so much as scratch her.
What did we just say about jumping to conclusions, Duvally?
Okay, I get it. She's strong. Still, if she's a woman who could be described as the strongest knight of all.
Duvally is what I would describe as a super fan.
Laura already noticed the similarity between the Eisenritter and Stahlritter, but she really does sound like Saint Sandlot.
I see I've got you thinking. Incidentally, I may have already mentioned her title, but one can never share my lord's glory too many times.
Dedicated. Infatuated.
She's known as the Steel Maiden.
The Steel Maiden. Leader of the Stahlritter.
The Steel Maiden, huh?
And with that, I believe that's enough idle chatter.
You are dismissed, Peon.
If you didn't come to tell me that you'll be fighting on our side, then we remain enemies. As such, we shouldn't be standing here being friendly with one another.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Sorry for bothering you. Actually, there was one more thing I wanted to ask.
Too bad. Slap him. Send him on his way.
You're not an enforcer like Blue Blanc or Sharon, right? Is there any reason for that?
You just had to ask.
Ooh.
Enforcers are selected by the society's leader, the Grand Master.
A little touchy about that subject, huh?
And in order to be selected as one and given a number, that person needs to be burdened by some kind of darkness.
Burdened by darkness? Is there like a darknessometer that they hook them up to measure the amount of darkness by which they are burdened?
But just so we're clear, there is no correlation between having a number and one's strength, all right? I'm quite strong.
Yeah, you were. When we beat you up.
I didn't say you weren't, but it makes perfect sense. You don't strike me as someone who's carrying any kind of darkness with you. You're refreshingly sincere. Like someone who hates anything that strays from the path of righteousness.
I'll thank you not to spout such nauseating drivel in my presence.
Aw, she's blushing.
Now get the hell out of my room!
Damn, Duvalie.
She chased me out.
Touched a nerve there, didn't we?
I'm really curious about the Steel Maiden.
Hey, Sir Kree, yeah, we finished the first act.
Could she really have some connection with the Lance Maiden? Perhaps even with the woman who helped us during our August field study. I wonder who's in here.
We got a visitor?
Come on in.
Oh, it's those two.
Excuse me.
Figured it was you. Sup?
Leo and Zeno.
Have a seat.
Sup. They also have the fancy spherical ice cubes. They just hand those things out, don't they?
Bourbon? I suppose not.
Yeah, I really shouldn't. How come you guys are being so friendly, though? I mean, we're on opposing sides and all.
Why wouldn't we be? It's not like we're on a battlefield right now. We're Jaegers. Nothing unusual about us trying to cut some throats one day that's sitting in a bar with the same guys the next.
Of course, if you would rather fight with us, that can be arranged.
Yeah, let's do that. Fight with them.
I shall have to politely decline. For one thing, I don't think I'd stand the slightest chance of taking you two down.
Hey now, no need to be so pessimistic. Fee seems to think pretty highly of you. Have a little more faith in yourself.
At the very least, you'd be able to give us a real fight in your divine night.
Wait, they want him to use Valimar just so that they can have a quote-unquote real fight? These guys for real?
Not that I'd have any intention of losing even then.
The scary thing is, I'm pretty sure he's dead serious.
Yeah, I think you're right, Reed.
Well, they're used to taking out tanks. They probably have their ways.
Huh. Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's true.
Ranking 72nd for the year in an academy full of big shot students ain't half bad.
Wait. They actually remembered the placement from the first game? 72nd was like bottom quartile.
Brings a tear to my eye to see our little Fee putting her heart into her education.
Oh, they're talking about Fee. Okay, never mind. I thought they were talking about Reen.
And don't forget, she was the youngest of her classmates, too. The boss was right when he said that she can do anything she puts her mind to.
You got that right. Maybe joining the gardening club will make her a bit more ladylike, too.
Unlikely.
Oh, who am I kidding?
She's still young. She has plenty of time to develop on that front if she so pleases.
They really seem to adore her, like two proud parents talking about their child.
Then why did they abandon her?
And yet.
Ask the question.
If you don't mind me asking, why did you leave Fee behind?
There you go. This is what we want to hear.
After your boss was killed in a battle with his sworn enemy, I mean.
Oh, Fee told you about that. It sounds like you're closer to her than I thought you were.
I trust this is simply me being paranoid. But you haven't tried making any moves on her, have you?
Oh no! Ooh! I don't know, Reen, have you tried to make any moves on Fee? Think carefully about how you answer this question.
No, of course not. I wouldn't dream of it.
And they're going to respond, well, why not? Why haven't you?
I just want to know why you'd abandon her when she obviously means so much to the two of you. She thought of you all like family. Why did you leave her all alone?
Well...
Good question.
We had our reasons. Let's leave it at that. I know you want to know, but you're not the one we should be telling that to.
We'll be sure to tell Fee our reasons in due time. Until then, leave the issue be.
They're acting just like parents.
All right, I can accept that. Still, she's our classmate. And in that sense, she's like family to me, to us, too. And we feel that way about her just as strongly as you do, if not more so. I want to be perfectly clear on that.
Fighting words right there.
Still, we'll remember you said that. Returning to the matter at hand, you're sure you haven't tried to make any moves on her?
These guys are scary.
Come on, spit it out.
They really are like two overprotective fathers.
Gentlemen, please relax.
I was hoping to get a bit more out of them about what Zephyr is up to. All we did was talk about Fee the whole time. Oh well. At least now I know that the guys in Zephyr really cared about her, so it wasn't a complete waste of time.
Alright. Moving on, we have two more folks to talk to.
Huh? I think I can sense someone inside.
Just barge right in. It didn't stop you with Duvalie. Why would it stop you here?
Given the circumstances, I imagine it must be one of the people who fought us in Ymir. Huh? It's open.
Is it Altina?
It's empty. Weird. I could have sworn I sensed someone in here.
She's asleep. She's sleeping.
Oh.
Better go wake her up, Reen, so you can talk to her and ask her questions about her history.
Looking at her lying down like this, she really is just a child. Maybe 12 or 13? Somewhere close to Milliam's age. How did a kid like this end up fighting with the Alliance?
Who are you?
I'm just the guy standing in your room staring at you, little girl.
Who's calling me?
It's me, Reen.
Is she talking in her sleep?
Oh, you're awake.
Situation assessed. Location is a room inside the guest area of the Pentagrul. 9 hours have passed since initial loss of consciousness.
9 hours? Well, she took one hell of a nap, didn't she?
Guess she's sleeping comfortably enough here. Then again, she needs it at her age. She's got plenty of growing left. Wait.
Huh?
Good morning?
Reen Schwarzer, why are you here?
Just watching you sleep like a totally normal high schooler would.
Unless my memories have been tampered with, I believe this room was solely allocated to me.
Oh, it was. Sorry. If I'd known you were sleeping, I wouldn't have come in here.
Sure you would, Reen. Don't lie.
So you're an intruder then?
Yes, exactly. Destroy him.
Clown Soleus.
No, it was just an innocent mistake. Whoa, can we at least talk about this?
You better duck, man.
No mercy for trespassers.
No mercy for trespassers.
So you claim to have no inappropriate motives for sneaking into this room.
Not claim! I really didn't!
But once you walked in, you fell victim to temptation and chose to act in accordance to your desires.
Why is she saying this?
No, I didn't! How many times do I have to explain what happened before you'll believe me?
I was making a joke. Had you any intention of harming me, Clown Soleus would have attacked you. That he didn't proves your innocence.
She knew the entire time, so she just beat him up for kicks, for the hell of it. She looks like the kind of person that would do that, doesn't she? Just look at her eyes. Sadistic.
Oh, right. Then what was all that for?
Exactly! Because she enjoyed it, Reen.
Oh, whatever. I suppose it's my own fault for coming in without permission.
That's right, blame yourself. That's exactly what she wants you to do.
Anyway, I've cleared my name. I'll see you some other time, probably.
If that's what you want to do, you didn't come to ask me anything then?
Well, no. Honestly, I didn't even know you were in here. I do have a lot I'd like to ask you, though, and just as much I'd like to say to you. Okay, if you're offering, what are your reasons for helping the Alliance? Why do you have a puppet just like Milliam's? Just who are you?
Whoa, back up, Reen. One question at a time, alright?
The answer to your first question is, I was ordered to do so. As all information regarding Clown Soleus is confidential, I am unable to answer your second question. And as for the last one, I am unable to fully comprehend the depth of your question.
Oh, forget it. You abducted my sister and the princess. Whether you were ordered to or not doesn't change that. And it's not something I think I can forgive. See you around. Sorry, that was probably too harsh. I can't pretend to know anything about your circumstances, but I do know that you didn't abduct them of your own free will. Anyway, with that said, I'll be going. Maybe we'll have a chance to talk again sometime.
Reen really is a little bit too forgiving.
The Black Workshop.
What?
That's the name of the place I belong to. It was they who loaned me to the Noble Alliance.
Black Workshop?
Unless you choose to join the Alliance, that is the most I'm able to disclose to you.
The name doesn't ring any bells. And loaned? That makes it sound like... I suppose it's none of my business.
There he goes. He can't help himself.
Thanks for telling me.
Jeez, Reen.
I'll be sure to remember that name.
Stop it.
I can't see doing so holding any real purpose for you. Incidentally, did you have any untoward motives behind what you just did?
No, it was totally innocent.
No, I did not.
Did Clown Soleus come out and punch him? No? Then he didn't.
The Black Workshop? Loaned? Sounds like stuff worth remembering.
That's right. Head patting is his middle name. He can't help himself. It's in his DNA.
I can sense someone inside.
Uh-oh.
What the?
Uh-oh. Don't do it. Go inside. You're gonna have a heart attack.
Oh, it's you.
Ah, McBurn. McChilling in his McRoom.
Forgot you were staying here too.
Yeah. What was that?
As much as I give him for his name, I do like his jacket. I do like his jacket. That's actually pretty nice.
It's gone now anyway. Maybe it was just my imagination.
So what's up? I couldn't give a damn whether you joined the Alliance or not, to be honest.
Oh, I didn't come here for any specific reason.
Wait. Yes, you did. You did. Ask him the question, Reen.
You mixed by any chance?
Could I sit and talk to you for a while?
What a pain in the ass. So, what do you want to ask?
When we ran into each other back near Berea Heart, you asked a weird question. Something about being mixed?
Oh, that?
I didn't have the chance to figure out what that meant at the time. But what did you mean?
Don't know if I can even explain that one.
Well, you better try.
It's just something you feel.
Wait, it's an emotion?
What we've got mixed into us is obviously different in strength and nature.
Do I have mixed emotions? Is that what you're trying to say? Every day, buddy.
It's kind of hard to put into words.
Yeah, seems that way. I know you're not trying to confuse me on purpose, but I really can't wrap my head around what you're saying.
Just watch.
Huh? What's he doing? He's pointing at the ceiling.
There's no trick to it. I'm not using an ornament, it's not magic. And I'm not using an artifact either. I just will fire to appear, and it does.
So it's just a totally unnatural ability?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
It's kind of like me when I'm playing video games. I will fire to appear and it does.
Something that just gives you results without the processes you'd usually have to go through to obtain them.
Look at the soles of his shoes. Even his shoes are technicolored. Look at that.
You've got one too, right?
Well, true. That power of mine wasn't something I gained from training. I don't even know where the power itself is coming from.
It's the same kind of thing. People who can do things like that usually have something mixed into them. Something foreign, unnatural, mixed into their body itself. Different to the church's stigmas.
Interesting.
Looks like a pretty small part of it in your case, though.
Interesting. Oh, I guess it's just not very good. Or Reen, even more to feel bad about.
There, huh? Anyway, I couldn't tell you how, where, or why whatever it is got mixed into you. Sure, you've got more questions, but sorry, I can't answer them.
No, it's okay. You've answered enough already. I feel like I understand myself a little better now, actually.
Good for you, I guess. So, we done now?
Yeah, thanks for your time. Oh yeah.
Something else?
So how much of you is unnatural?
All of it, buddy. Have you looked at my hair? Do you think this is real?
Me? All of me.
I knew it, but how can you be mixed if you're entirely unnatural? This guy just give me a break, man. All of me.
His circumstances seem very different from mine. Guess all I can do is remember what he said. Maybe there will come a time when it'll all make sense. I'm sure one day I'll find out what this power of mine is. What the story behind me being given this power as a kid is. One day.
Alright, so there is a passageway that we can go check out. Also, where'd this maid come from? Hello? She still seems depressed, you say? I'm afraid so. It pains me to see her like this, to be honest. Perhaps we should inform His Grace about this. I can certainly see it having a negative effect on her health if she remains this way much longer. Whether His Grace will truly care, however, I'll give the issue some more thought. May I leave her to you in the meantime? Absolutely. Absolutely. Ah, if it isn't Master Reed. Is there something that we can help you with? If so, please don't hesitate to ask. Oh, should have figured I wouldn't be able to get through here. Nothing in particular. Please keep up the good work. Keep up the good work? What is this? Same goes for you, chat. Keep up the good work. I'm counting on you.
I think the mate's finished working in there now.
Thank you, Gego. I had always planned to. I'll keep up the good work myself.
I wonder who's using this room, though.
3 guesses. Who's using the room? Actually, you only get 1 guess. Forget 3.
Yes? Who is it? Please come in.
That sounds like... Excuse me.
That would be cheating, Grass Giant. Oh, it's Princess Alphen! Or is it Elise wearing a Princess Alphen wig?
I had a feeling it was you, but I didn't dare to hope.
It's you.
Now she's gonna run over to him and hug him, and he's gonna pat her on the head. So much.
It's really, really you!
Your Highness.
There's step 1. Alright, head patting commence.
How did you get here? This all feels like a dream. Please don't tell me it is. I don't think my heart could handle the disappointment.
It's really me. I'm so glad you're safe. I'm so sorry that you had to go through all of this. If I hadn't been so weak and careless, none of this would have happened.
You mustn't apologize. Simply being able to see you again is more than I could have hoped for.
Head patting.
Must have been really lonely.
I mean, it's the back of the head, not the top of the head, like his signature move, but it's still head patting. I knew it. The 1-2 punch.
I'm here for you now, though. I might not be the most reliable person for the job, but I'm not going anywhere.
So that's what you've been doing all this time?
Yeah, I was happy all of us were able to get back together again.
And then I left.
But then yesterday, I ended up being invited onto this ship by Duke Cayenne. That's why I'm here, talking to you.
I do recall thinking things were a little noisier than usual yesterday. Now I know why. Strange as it may sound, I suppose I owe the Duke my thanks.
Don't tell us it's because he reunited you with Reen. Don't say that.
After all, if not for his invitation, we wouldn't have been able to find each other like this.
Alphen, come on.
Sorry. I wish I could say I'd snuck on board to rescue you or something. Incidentally, I hesitate to ask, but...
You want to know where Elise is, right? She's not on this ship, I'm afraid.
Okay. Do you know where she is then?
I can't say for sure, but I believe she's been taken to the same place as my parents.
Really?
I'm sure it isn't news to you that my mother, father, and Cedric have been imprisoned somewhere. And apparently, they've chosen Elise to be my family's attendant.
Oh, what? That's interesting. Okay.
So it's likely wherever they've been taken, she's right there with them.
Really? I'm not sure whether to feel relieved or what.
I can hardly blame you. I feel exactly the same way, even.
But why were you alone imprisoned on this airship? Surely there must be some reason.
That was Duke Cayenne's decision.
He just wanted to keep her close, I think.
I believe he's using me to suppress potential rebellion in areas occupied by the Alliance.
Exactly, yeah.
By having me address the people and calm them down.
Forgive me for saying so, but that's a little messed up. Using you like that.
That's a little messed up. That's the thing that you consider to be messed up, Reen. He has so many other things that you need to be upset about. Just one more added to the list.
I don't especially mind doing it, honestly. It's a simple enough task. People all across Erebonia are uneasy about this war. And as princess, I should do what's within my power to help calm their nerves.
I don't know if I completely agree, Elfin.
But at the expense of your own feelings? I know you want to help, but you can't be happy about being used as the Alliance's puppet to deceive them. Plus, you've been forcibly separated from your family, your best friend. You don't even know where they are.
Yes, but...
There's no but. It's just yes. There's no second part to this sentence, Elfin.
Oh, why even bother? You see through everything, don't you, Reen?
That's right. Reen is a genius.
Anyway, putting my feelings aside, what do you plan to do now? I presume you don't intend to actually do whatever Duke Cayenne tells you to.
Well... I'm really not sure what to do. The longer this war goes on, the more people will suffer because of it. But even so, I don't feel as though siding with the Noble Alliance is the right course of action. And the same goes for the Imperial Army. I can't in good conscience side with them either.
What is the argument against the Imperial Army? Exactly.
I see.
There's so much to think about. You're being used as a puppet against your will? And then Elise is imprisoned somewhere too, being forced to do who knows what. I have to act somehow to change things.
That wasn't your fault, Reen.
Ever since I was taken in by my family all those years ago...
You obviously don't understand, Elfin. Everything is Reen's fault, okay? Just ask him.
I've tried to be a brother figure to her. I became the person I am today because of them. They've always loved me like they would a real son, and she's always treated me like a real older brother. You saw that power of mine, didn't you? And what I look like when I use it?
Well, yes, I did.
Back when I was a kid, something just like that happened. I ended up using it right there in front of her. She should have been terrified of me, but if she was, she never once let it show. She treated me exactly the same as before. And that was when I swore, deep within my heart.
Tell us, Reen. Tell us what's deep within your heart.
No matter what happened, no matter what I had to do, I would always protect her.
Oh, well, I hate to break it to you, Reen, but it's a little late for that now, buddy.
And that's why I can't help but wonder. I can't help but wonder if now's the time to live up to that promise, if I should put her before everything else.
Wait, if now is the time to live up to that? You said you swore that many years ago, to do whatever it takes. And yet, where is she, Reen?
Even if I have to ignore or outright betray my own personal beliefs in the process.
Reen. As your honorary little sister, I order you to get a hold of yourself!
Stop feeling sorry for yourself this instant, Reen.
What?
Reen likes to do this. He likes to go into these little pity party moments, and then somebody has to convince him to stop being so sad. Uh-oh, the back hug.
Your Highness.
I know Elise far better than you think I do. In fact, I'd even go as far as to say I know her better than you.
Damn.
Reen, she's already told me so much about what happened 8 years ago. She told me about how that snowy day was what inspired you to take up the sword.
Yeah, Emma does this exact same thing.
She told me how traumatic that moment was for you. How what happened stays with you even now. And she even told me that, while she hated how she felt the tiniest bit happy because of it. Because it meant that your attention, your guilt, and your sense of responsibility were directed towards her and no one else.
Wow, that seems a little distressing to admit to your friend. All that negative attention. It's all on me.
And she knew more than anyone how selfish that was.
Okay, because it is pretty selfish. That's pretty messed up.
She may have had other reasons for choosing to go to Saint Estrella, but her main reason was that she didn't want you to keep feeling guilty because of her. More than anything else, she wanted to free you of your burdens. You should know, when you joined Thor's and were making new friends, and you finally seemed to be moving forward, she felt a little jealous, and even a little lonely at being left behind. But she was so very, very happy for you too.
Aww.
So please, Reen, please don't use Elise to justify not choosing your place in this war.
Aww. She loved him.
Because I know for a fact, she wants you, of all people, to carve your own path and find true happiness.
Do it, Reen. Find true happiness for your sister.
How could I have been so blind? All this time I thought I was trying to protect her, and it's been the other way around since the start.
Reen is extremely clueless. Is he becoming slightly less clueless by realizing that he's clueless? I mean, there's a lot of things that he's clueless about, but he's less clueless about this one thing now, so I think that's a good start.
And that's not just true for her either. Mom, Dad, Master Ka-Fai. All my friends at Thor's, they've been supporting me this whole time. How could I have missed something so obvious? I think I finally understand what I've been lacking inside of me all this time.
Self-awareness.
I was so focused on trying to protect others, I never stopped to think about how relationships go both ways. Others try to support me just like I try to support them, and I have as much of an effect on them as they do on me. How did I not realize before now? I'm sorry, Master. I think you gave me that intermediate scroll a bit too soon.
Uh-oh. What's happening?
What? Better to realize late than never, I suppose.
Reen gains the power of self-respect.
Because now I finally feel like I'm ready. As long as I keep that fact in mind, I won't lose control again.
Whoa. What? Did he just manifest this out of thin air? Reen has attained a new state of mind, dude. He's reached enlightenment. Owls, hey, thank you for that raid. Welcome everyone from Owls' chat. It is great to have you all here. How was your broadcast? Welcome everyone. If this is your first time here, I'm the sharply dressed man, playing a little bit of Trails of Cold Steel 2 tonight. You're just in time to join us for Anime Night, Season 3, Episode number 8. Thank you for shouting out Owls in the chat. Much appreciated. Owls right there does most of the emotes for the channel. She's busy doing some emotes, some custom emotes. A bit tired. I bet. Isn't it really late for you or really early? What time is it? Train 666, thank you. Rain has achieved enlightenment. 6:30 a.m. Wow. So it's both. It's like either really late or really early, depending on your perspective. He's now ready to use a new craft, Spirit Unification, when the time comes. We're going to Spirit Unify something when the time is right.
Are you all right?
No, I have achieved a new state of mind.
I'm fine. And I've got you to thank for that. Forget honorary. You sounded just like my real sister for a minute. So, thank you.
Head pat her, Reen. Pat her on the head, you know you want to. You took a nap? Around this time is when you sleep the last few days, so your body clock is screaming at you. Yeah. I get that. I felt like I got like an actual full night's sleep last night, and it was incredible.
I think it's time we get going. I wouldn't want to keep my classmates waiting any longer than I already have.
A pity, but you're right. I was rather hoping we could stay like this a little while longer. But I suppose all good things have to come to an end.
I like how they match.
Take care of yourself, Reen. I'll leave Elisa's rescue to you. No matter what it takes, please. Why are you shaking your head?
Laugh at her. Do it. You know you want to.
I said it's time we get going, didn't I? There's no way I'm leaving my sister's best friend imprisoned in a place like this.
How is your game? Els, are you playing some Final Fantasy tonight, or what were you up to?
I will get the two of us off this ship, so stay close to me.
What are you gonna do? There's an army between you and the exit, Reen.
Right!
Right. I don't know if I really trust this. Or is his new state of mind going to let him just get through this? Princess Alphen joined the party. Wait, really?
So, do you have an escape plan?
Nope, I have no idea what we're gonna do.
Valimar, the Ashen Knight, is on the deck. He's chained up there, but if we can get to him, I'm sure we can find some way to use him to get away from here. First, though, we need to find a way to get out of this part of the ship without anyone noticing.
Alright then. I never imagined I'd be running away from here with you at my side.
You have it's the opposite, Alphen. Reen is running out of there with you by his side.
Elise is going to be so envious.
Anyway, let's get going.
Now you were doing art, nice. You haven't raided in Final Fantasy for about 3 weeks. Okay, drama went down, sorry to hear that. I know how stressful that can be every time that happens, but I also feel like there's an inevitability when raiding. Every raid group that I've been in has had drama of some kind. So you've been playing Lost Ark, watching movies, art, and maybe the Epic of Alexander Party Finder when you have time. So wait, you do the Epic of Alexander just for fun? That's remarkable. Any good recommendations?
There are a lot of very strong people here, so try to keep your voice down.
Is he like,
Not to worry.
is he just carrying her, or what's going on here? Pandora. Increases offensive arts damage, but also raises EP consumed. That's what I want. I'll just take that, thank you. Thank you, I just want that. That's mine now. Can I just take away all of her quartzes? Dragon Vein. EP recovers on field and enemies drop more Sepith. Can she cook? Wait, can you cook? She can cook. That's great. And what about your equipment? What do you have? She has no weapons, but she's wearing a gorgeous crown, jeweled boots, and is equipped with the Holy Sphere. A gorgeous gown woven from scratch with golden thread. We'll check her room real quick. Make sure I didn't miss anything in here. Any treasure chests hidden around? Frog to phase 3. Oh, you haven't cleared it yet. Got it. Both of the statics that you were with disbanded or dissipated for different reasons before you were able to get the clear. Alright, just be very quiet. Blue Blanc is conspicuously missing. We're just gonna take her back to our room. What's going on? Oh, the vent, obviously.
Hmm? This looks like...
This looks like a suspiciously person-sized ventilation shaft.
It's a vent.
Well, that's convenient. Might it lead to somewhere else on the ship, you think?
Nah.
Most likely. Still, I can't very well ask a princess to crawl through a vent.
Nonsense, Reen. Of course you can. I'm ready to begin our great escape.
But it's going to be all dark inside. And probably filthy, too.
A little bit of darkness and dirt never hurt anyone.
You tell him, Alphen.
I had to travel through some fairly narrow underground passages when escaping from Heimdall, too. All right? How about I go first? I'm smaller than you, after all.
I feel like that's a bad idea, but if you insist.
No, definitely not.
Reen is not on board with that.
Well, as long as you're all right with it. But I'll be going first. Like I said before, just stay close to me.
All right, then.
You'd think a princess would be more mindful when she's wearing a dress.
Reen, you're so chivalrous.
I'm surprised. It's not dirty at all in here.
Maybe it's because the ship's newly built?
It's because they knew this is where the way that you were gonna go. It's a trap. They prepared it for you so you wouldn't get yourself all smudgy.
Oh, there's a corner.
We must be past the guest area then.
I enjoyed Rings of Power. Gets a lot of hate on Twitter, but I enjoyed it.
Looks like we're in the clear for that part of the ship at least.
There's suspiciously few people around. There's basically nobody on the ship. This is absolutely a trap, right?
My, that was intense. It's like I've stepped right into the world of one of those spy novels that are so popular these days.
Anyway, here's hoping we can make it to the deck without getting caught.
What is it?
Soldiers are coming this way. Keep a safe distance and let me handle this.
It feels like the closest thing we have to someone ordinary around here is that kid. It's pretty nerve-wracking having to be around them all.
I just wish I could get to see Princess Alphen in person.
Oh.
Oh, now's your chance, buddy.
What?
Oh.
Too late.
Good luck, Green!
Oh, damn.
Here I go.
Wait. He can link with Princess Alphen? Buddy.
Now's our chance.
What is she doing?
Gather on my blade.
Yes! Burn them. She can't attack because she has no weapon, so she must cast spells.
That was splendid!
At least you got to see Princess Alphen.
Oh, they're strong.
Are you all right, Your Highness?
Why are you worn out? You barely did anything.
Yes, I'm fine. Thanks to you, of course. Let's be going. I'll be sure to stay very close to you.
Good. All right, here we go.
Making dreams come true, that's what I do. You wanted to see Princess Alphen? I gave him the chance. Customize weapons, you say? Well, she doesn't have a weapon, so it doesn't matter. Alright, time to escape the ship in style. Definitely very stealthily.
Good luck, Green!
My turn.
You're here too.
Now's our chance.
She just casts magic for her basic attack.
It's my turn.
Wow.
That was splendid!
Wow. Don't mess with Alphen. She will blast you.
Are they mechanical monsters?
Maybe.
They're called archaisms.
I don't have detector. I think it's on one of my other party members. Oh, I do. Oh. They gave me all their stuff. Yes. Perfect. Now I can see where all the treasure chests are.
I don't suppose escaping through the windows would be an option.
You're welcome to try.
Probably not. I'll have to do this the long way.
You're welcome to try, Your Highness. Why don't you do that and let me know how that goes for you, okay? 1,000 hit points, 10 strength, and 10% crit. Wow, that's remarkable. All right, we'll take that. Definitely putting that on. Well, that's a big boy. That's a big boy. Look at him.
Bring it on.
Ooh.
Here I go.
Yeah, that's a lot of big boys.
There.
Get him.
Now's our chance. Your Highness.
What was that squeak? Was that her war cry?
Too slow.
It's my turn.
It's Alphen's war cry. That's adorable.
Arcus, activate!
Oh, that guy's frozen.
Let's move. Second form. Gale!
It's my turn.
Oh, you'll be fine.
I think it would be wise to flee.
No, don't flee. Cast a spell.
Arcus, activate!
Thanks. My turn.
No, she doesn't do too bad. She's not
That's
half bad.
the power of the 8 leaves.
Ooh. All right, what else do we have? There's a boss room over there. This might be a boss room
There they
too.
are. Recover the princess.
Whew.
2 soldiers, 1 military monster. Shouldn't be a problem. Stay back, please.
Right. Good luck, Reen!
Let's move.
I like how she wishes him luck every single time. It's adorable, actually.
Gather on my blade.
She has no S-craft, though. Don't heal.
It's my turn.
Do not heal yourself. Don't even think about it. Oh, he's gonna heal himself and he's gonna get a 50% heal on top of it. This guy is getting so lucky.
Huh.
He just full healed. Unreal. Get out of here. Damn.
Let's move.
Finish him.
Gladly. Arcus, activate. That was splendid.
Very good, Your Highness.
Great.
Great. I was thinking that same thing, Reen. Wait, he's at full HP again. What happened?
I'm shocked how skilled you are with arts.
You are? You're so sweet.
This person is completely unconscious. This person is also completely unconscious. You have to check in on them just to make sure that they're okay, you know? Reen is like Batman, he doesn't kill people. He just breaks their arms. You know, things like that. Just like Batman. Be gone!
Enemy sighted. Let's take him out. My turn. There. Now's our chance.
It's my turn.
Did you ever play the, what was it? I think it was an Arkham City DLC where you get to play as the Red Hood. The Red Hood is hilarious because all he does is, like, he sneaks around like Batman does, but when you're like fighting people, I just missed. He just like straight up shoots them.
My turn.
You know, Batman would punch them and stuff, and Red Hood just pulls out a gun and shoots them. I thought that was hilarious.
Now!
Gladly. That was splendid.
Yeah, but at least they died of natural causes, right? They just died because they didn't receive medical attention.
That went well.
Batman didn't actively kill them that minute. He just indirectly killed them a few minutes later. They're fine. They're fine. Don't worry about it. You worry too much.
Bring it on. My turn.
Ooh.
Now.
Get him. Get him, Alphin.
It's my turn.
All right. Blast them. They deserve it, all right?
Arcus, activate.
Here I go.
Ooh. Look at that 1-2 combo.
My turn.
It's still alive?
Gladly.
It's still alive.
Here I go. Sit. Thanks.
It's coming for you, Reen.
Let's move. Sit.
Gladly.
You are so disappointing. It's gonna kill him.
Sorry, everyone.
That wraps things up in a neat little bow.
Nicely done. Oh, she doesn't have Bellas, I just realized. That's weird. Why'd she not have Bellas? I tried to heal Reed, but he is too dead to be healed.
It's my turn.
Okay. Go up this hallway, and then we arrive at a rest area.
Oh, look! A staircase!
It sure is what that is, Elfin.
Hopefully this will lead to the deck.
Thank you for your contribution, Your Highness. She has Seraphic Ring. Yeah, that's true. She has AoE Thelis and full heal. Playing Spider-Man tonight. You thought you killed a guy by flinging him off the top of a building. Turns out that he lived. He got webbed on a wall on the way down. Well, that's mighty convenient.
How did you get ahead of us?
Good question. We were here the whole time.
Ha ha! I'll freely admit I wasn't actually expecting you to join the Alliance. But not even in my wildest dreams did I imagine you'd try to flee the ship with our dearest princess.
You're a bold one, I'll give you that.
I wasn't expecting to run into either of you on the way out either. You guys aren't called the Phantom Thief and Duvalie the Swift for nothing.
Trying to praise us won't get us to let you pass.
Ha ha! Princess Alfin is one of this nation's most precious treasures. You surely couldn't have thought that I, the Phantom Thief, would allow you to steal her from us, could you?
I'm not being stolen by anyone. If anything, I was the one who whispered sweet nothings into his ear and tempted him to run away with me.
That's right, Elfin. It was your idea this whole time.
Oh my! What a passionate young lady you are. Forgive me for being so presumptuous. You've no doubt taken after your brother in more ways than one.
There you go.
I'd like to believe that I'm not quite the oddball he is. I couldn't agree more with his belief that love is the truest form of beauty, however.
Really now?
He's gonna get into some philosophical debate about the meaning of love with her. I just know it.
They're actually hitting it off.
I think that's enough messing around for one day. You're an enforcer, Blue Blanc. Take your work seriously and behave!
There you tell him, Duvalie.
Ha ha! I think the number of enforcers who take things seriously are in the minority, I'm afraid. Still, you're right about us having played around for long enough. I find the many mysteries surrounding you fascinating, but there's a certain appeal to them remaining forever unsolved, too.
You may think yourself a swordsman, but allow me to show you how little you truly know.
Are you sure you can do this?
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Famous last words, Reen.
The gap in skill between us is small enough that I should be able to force our way through.
Oh?
Small? The difference in our strength is like night and day, you boor. And if you're foolish enough to be unable to see that, then allow me to make you realize your folly and pay for your arrogance.
Ma'am, don't point that. It's rude.
The one being foolish and arrogant is you.
My.
Green?
Oh, here we go. He's going to ascend. Are you ready?
I owe me being able to do this to you, Your Highness. You and Elise. No. Everyone who's done anything to aid us in coming this far deserves thanks.
Yes! Ultra Instinct Reen.
What's happened to him?
Could this be your ogre power?
Eight leaves, one blade school, intermediate level. I, Reen Schwarzer, will be your opponent.
I will enjoy this.
Look at those.
His ogre power?
Let's move.
Look at those buffs. Strength up, defense up, arts defense up, speed up, insight. This guy means business. Fatal Autumn Leaf Cutter, Fatal Arc Slash, Arcane Gale, Fatal Flame Impact. Buddy. This is wild. All of his abilities just evolved. 100% Seal. Gale's Perfected Essence. Alright, so just like before, they are not really weak to anything. So if I Azure Flame Slash them right now, which I could, and I think I will, let's see what this does. Ooh, 49,000 damage.
How can this be happening? What is he?
You're in trouble now.
Ha ha ha! Splendid! Simply splendid! So you finally conquered your power and made it your own, did you? You continue to fascinate me, Reen.
That is awesome.
Green.
Forgive me, Your Highness.
What for?
Oh no, what is he doing? Reen, what are you doing? Is he gonna fly away now? Kind of.
Goodness!
Wait just a damn minute!
Whoa, what's going on here?
I don't know, but I don't think it's worth us chasing after them.
That was wild. Hang on! Come back here, that's cheating!
We'll make our way directly to the deck. Are you all right, Your Highness?
Yes, perfectly. My heart just feels as if it's about to burst.
That doesn't sound very fine.
Come on, is now really the time to be flirting with each other?
It's them.
You're here too.
You got some real guts, kiddo. But you ain't getting past us.
Zephyr's guard shall not be easily broke.
He just runs right past them.
Looks like he's picked up a few tricks from our fee.
The targets have broken our line of defense. Commencing pursuit.
How do you defeat Zephyr? You just don't fight them.
I'm sorry about that, Your Highness.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
How many times can Reen apologize while transformed and running down this hallway? Let's count them.
Can I hold on to you a little tighter?
Of course.
Targets in sight, commencing capture.
Alright, so now it's Altina's chance.
My suspicions outlining you as an indecent person seem to have been confirmed.
Can you not make me out to be some kind of pervert all the time, please?
Oh! Whoa!
Target lost. I may have underestimated you, Reen Schwarzer. In more ways than one.
Reen's apology has no limit. This is the true power of the Ultra Instinct Reen form. His apologies know no bounds.
I'm so sorry, Your Highness. I didn't really have any choice but to do that. I realize that's no excuse.
He doesn't stop. It just keeps going.
I know you didn't. But she seemed even younger than me. How could you, Reen? That truly is indecent.
What?
Try not to pay any attention to what she says about me. There's the exit.
Don't change the subject.
That kid was basically running the entire length of the ship.
That's the Ashen Knight? Isn't that
Uh-oh. It's them.
Crow? And
McFly. I mean, McBird.
Huh. So that's how it manifests for you. You finally mastered that power you got, huh? Still, you're one busy guy, you know that? One minute you're down in the dumps, the next, you've got one of the cutest girls in the country cheering you up.
Reen can't help himself.
Well, I can't deny it. But she wasn't the only one. There was my sister, our classmates, and even you, in a sense.
Come on. Can't say I'm not curious to see what that power of yours can do. But I think you get priority here, right? Yeah, let me have this one.
Your Highness, if you don't mind.
all right.
Here we go. Epic battle time.
This is your first time fighting me without the mask on, I think. With our Divine Knights, I come out on top. But let's see who wins when it's just the two of us.
Sounds good to me.
He's smiling. Don't smile, Reen. This guy is your enemy.
You managed to win against three of us at once in the catacombs below Heimdall. But it's just you and me now. And this time, I'll be the victor.
Go ahead and try.
Now their eye colors match. And their hair. Are they brothers? Has Crow secretly been Super Saiyan this whole time?
Here I go.
Oh, we're just gonna start right up next to each other, huh?
Gather on my blade. Here I go.
Here I go. 65,000 HP left, huh? Alright, well. Let's get started.
My turn. Here I go.
you missed.
Here I go.
Reen. Stop missing, buddy.
Yeah! Here we go.
Unbelievable. He's got all these buffs, but the one buff that he's missing is accuracy. The most important one.
Not bad. Here we go. My turn.
Oh, he healed.
Here we go.
He's at 54,000 HP now. Ugh.
Gather on my blade.
Yes! Get him!
So to the cross of your demise.
Well, I think this might be the end.
Deadly
I don't think Ring survives this.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Party was wiped out. Yeah, I'm supposed to actually win this one.
All right.
Okay.
You ready, Reen?
My turn.
Fine. I guess. We'll go again.
Gather on my blade.
So we have to have at least enough HP to survive his S-crap whenever it is he decides to use it.
Let's move.
Which is going to be like whenever his hit points get low, I'm sure.
Let's move.
And gross.
There.
Nice miss.
Let's move.
The one boss fight in this game that's not a scripted loss. Yes, precisely.
Here we go. Here we go. My turn.
Man, we are just chopping this guy up.
Eat this.
Nice miss.
Too slow.
Not bad.
All right, now we have to
Let's
heal.
move.
Make sure that we keep our hit points up.
Here we go.
Oh, several.
Let's move.
Yeah, Rufus, Zeno and Leo, McBurn. Yeah, when you get to that point where they're just spamming their abilities and killing you. Yeah. 100%.
Here we go.
Sit.
My turn.
In fact, it's been... We lost against Crow earlier because we were in our mechs, and he defeats you automatically in that one too. Yeah, Crow in the mech, so you have 4 of them.
Gather on my blade.
All right, is 8,000 hit points enough to survive this? Man, I hope so.
So to the cross of your demise. Deadly cross.
7,200. All right, barely enough to survive, but enough.
Yeah. My turn. Let's move. Here we go.
You're done, buddy. Wait, is Gale whoa. Arcane Gale is a... What's going on here? This AoE is so weird.
Arcane! Damn!
Oh shit!
Damn.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh wow, that's so much better.
That's what I can really do.
Blade 2 deck. I stole his blade cards from him. They're mine now, buddy. Hey, Nova. Yeah, right? Exactly. Teleports behind you. Nothing personnel, kid.
Huh. You actually did it. I sure wasn't expecting you to beat me one-on-one.
You fought pretty well yourself.
Stop complimenting the bad guys, Reen.
It couldn't have been easy to last as long as you did against me like this.
Uh-oh. He's gone too far. His energy levels are dropping rapidly. He's overexerted himself. Oh no!
Why did this have to happen now?
Guess your luck ran out.
Well, that's it.
We finally caught up to you.
Game over. It was a good run while it was
Well,
happening,
aren't you,
Reen.
Mr. Popular?
But I think it's, I think the jig is up, sir.
But I think you may have been slightly too reckless this time.
That wasn't a bad fight. Even if you lost, at least you tried, I guess.
Your Highness, please move away from me.
Hey, don't be too rough with...
Look sharp.
Where? What? What did I do? Oh, wait. Now they appear?
Crimson Wings?
The cavalry arrived just in time.
What are you all?
All the chaperones are here.
Sorry for the wait, Reen.
Yo, we're here to save the day.
You caught us all off guard back in Ymir.
So this time we opted to take the initiative ourselves.
We meet again, severing chains. And I see you brought the purple lightning with you.
She brought more than that. Check out the Icy Maiden and that big shot arts user from the Bracer Guild.
We couldn't ask for a more impressive. However,
Here it comes again.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
Your lordship.
Uncle Victor!
Victor S. Arcade.
It's good to see you again, Rain. And it relieves me to see you're none the worse for wear, Your Highness.
Ugh! Radiant Blade Master is here too?
Huh. Wow. You're strong. Very strong.
That's quite the nod, coming from the blazing demon himself. I can see now why you're considered one of the fiercest in Ouroboros.
The blazing demon. It's not because he's on fire.
And why some even claim you to be the Steel Maiden's equal.
Oh, really?
Well, I know who I'm gonna be fighting.
Don't you go forgetting about us now.
Wait, there's more? Ooh.
You're all here too?
All of Class 7 is here too.
Are you okay, Reen?
Looks like we've landed in the middle of something pretty crazy.
And not a moment too soon.
You came!
Glad to see you're all right.
And Oliver.
You certainly seem to have kept yourself busy. Enjoying your scandalous elopement with Reen, are you?
He gave me the time of my life.
Elisa immediately, what? What did you say?
You guys were having that much fun, huh?
And with our princess, Reem?
To think we were so worried about you.
You're not supposed to take it literally.
So this is what you threw me out of Valimar for? Doesn't look very fun.
Crow, you're here.
It feels like it's been ages since we last saw you.
You're looking spiffy, Crow.
I'm hanging in there. Sure wasn't expecting all of you to show up, though. How are we even gonna settle this?
That is the question, isn't it?
A giant fight.
I'd roughly estimate both sides to be of equal strength.
Yeah? So we probably just end up at a stalemate, huh?
Oh, doesn't sound like much fun at all. Let's say we just forego the fighting and have ourselves a party instead.
I like that. Where's Reen's sister? We don't know.
I could never turn down a party.
We think Reen's sister is being held with the royal family somewhere, is what the princess said.
That sounds simply wonderful.
I'll bring the booze.
Ah! No! Can't one of you take this a little more seriously?
Oh, Jubilee! We have to relax a little bit.
This is getting us nowhere.
And then all of a sudden, there's Vita Clotilde.
Look who decided to show up.
I feel like Celine is eventually going to eat this bird.
Krianos, Vita!
Welcome aboard the Pantagruel, Emma. Your overall ability as a witch might still be lacking, but that transportation spell was exceptional.
Oh, that was Emma's doing. Interesting.
I must apologize for the untimely intrusion. As displeased as a few of you might be by the idea, I think it best if we let one another peacefully go our separate ways this time.
Yeah, it's a very conspicuous distortion effect on her model. I think it's supposed to be the dress that she's wearing.
I'll be the one who bears the brunt of Duke Cayenne's anger.
Vita.
Can't say I understand why we should.
It's not our place to question the orders of our clients.
Whatever. Gives me something to look forward to later.
Okay, bye then.
Okay, see ya, Fee.
Next time we meet, it will be as enemies.
Yep, I know.
Aww, I was kinda hoping we'd be able to talk some more.
Milliam always bringing it back down to earth, right?
I expect we will have multiple opportunities to do so in the near future.
I feel like Quam Soleas and Lammy are the two that actually have, like, they want to have a conversation with each other because they're the only ones that can understand each other.
Well, catch you later, Phantom Thief.
Or not. You do know that no one likes your stupid pranks, right?
Thank you, Sarah, for saying it. Nobody likes them.
Tut tut! There's no need to be so harsh. It's a shame we couldn't resume our debate on the nature of beauty this time, my most worthy rival.
I could wax eloquent about beauty till I'm old and gray, but honestly, I think it's about time we settled things between us.
Next time we meet, Radiant Blade Master and his daughter, it will be to battle.
Well, I certainly have no objection to that.
What is her deal?
You seem to bear some manner of ill will against my household. I don't know your reasons. But should we be granted the opportunity, I would gladly settle things with you in battle.
Yes, well, let's not be too hasty. I can wait.
Ah, so that's the depth of your conviction, I see.
Guess that wraps things up for now. You've definitely grown, but you've still got plenty of room for improvement, especially when it comes to piloting Valimar. So unless you're up for another beatdown, I suggest you get to work on fixing that.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and just to confirm, you were the one who told Toval where I was, right?
2 days ago, I got a call out of nowhere on my Arcus. They gave me this crazy amount of detail on exactly where to find you, then they just hung up. Didn't even say who they were. Oh, now that you mention it, he does have the same voice as that mystery caller.
Uh-oh.
I did think he sounded familiar. That must have been because I'd heard it during your concert at the festival.
Bro has a soft spot for Reen.
Damn, looks like the jig is up.
You really did that?
Oh, Crow, there's no shame in admitting that you care, you know.
Wait a second.
And if I might be so bold as to offer a word of advice.
Where did he pull that thing out from?
Get Valimar a better sword, one like yours. If you think you're such hot stuff you can beat me without your 8 leaves training, you're in for a world of hurt.
Just craft a giant katana, that's it. You know, 40, 50 feet long. I'm sure Sephiroth has a couple that he can lend you.
Correct choice of armaments is indeed paramount. Selecting one the Awakener is well suited to will increase combat efficiency exponentially.
I can't pretend to know much about this kind of thing.
He's right. Eastern blades like my Tachi are the heart and soul of the 8 leaves, 1 blade style swordsmanship. All right, I'll take your advice.
Just go get a massive katana, exactly. Just find one.
And when I've got myself one, I'll finally take everything back.
I'm sure there's a legendary massive katana just lying around somewhere that we're gonna go get, right?
The Academy, Elise, and even you, Crow.
Ah.
If that's how you want it, I'd like to see you try.
Nothing stands a chance against us as long as we have our friends and the prayers of humanity. All right, that was pretty cool. Does this mean that I get Laura's dad in my party now?
Courageous! Full speed ahead!
Commence retreat from this airspace.
Nice. Nice. And that brings us to an end of the intermission aboard the Pantagruel. So we finished Act 1 and we finished the intermission between Act 1 and Act 2. And we are currently 30 hours into the game. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night here, folks. It's 11:30 p.m. It's time for me to get some sleep. I do have work in the morning, so thank you so much for being here.